Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. I'm the best guy ever. What do we got going on here? We got Hippos here.
Hello, everybody.
We got Lethal Aurora Mage.
Oh, shoot, I'm second. Hi, hello, I am here.
Indeed.
I'm alive.
We've got Ben Saint. Tom Oliver.
Hey. Oh. Let's go.
Oh, hey.
And, of course, Endless Jess.
Fuck. Hello, it's also me.
Ah, man. Well,
What a cast of characters. What a motley crew.
This is a motley crew.
So I posted a question, and I can't pronounce it because, like, the pronunciation is part of the question. So I want you guys...
It's
bidet.
pronounced bidet.
It's pronounced
Bidet.
bidet.
Anyone ever use a bidet?
I hope
never.
to one day. It's a dream of mine
Actually,
to own one.
okay, funny story about a bidet. So, the house I live in, there used to be a guy who lived here, who we called Little John. And Little John had bidets, and he installed bidets on every toilet in the house.
Bidets for days.
Yeah, and so we do have bidets, right? Like, they are on every toilet. But I tried it one time, and I hated it. I thought it was, like, horrible. It was like a powerful, concentrated stream of water that shot right at your anus, and I don't like it. I do not like it. So
I wonder about the cleanup. Do you have like a towel? Like, how do you? I guess toilet paper.
I assume you would just use toilet paper. I mean, I never got good with it, right? I never mastered the techniques.
Yeah.
So we have them, and I don't like them. Maybe I should give it another shot.
Another shot.
Suddenly,
bidets, they're in the general sphere of anything involving my asshole is gay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty homo adjacent if you ask me.
It's not though.
It's not that it's gay. It's just that it was like, oh God, wow, what? No, it feels bad.
This raises the old question of, is a man getting pegged by his wife, let's say, is that gay?
All right.
There's no man in
Wait. It's not gay, it's just sad.
I actually wanted to mention this the last time this sort of thing came up. Because, like, the whole, is it gay? I know it's a meme, partially, but, like, people do ask these questions. And it's always stupid because, like, gay is a sexual preference. It is not a physical action. Like, any physical action can be anything. Like, anything can be anything, but, like, your perception of it is, like, your preference for, like, the same sex. That's what it means.
Touching a foot can be just as non-sexual as it can be sexual. So, yeah, I can see what you're
Let me make an argument for why I kind of think it is gay. Even though there's no man involved, but like the pegging is approximating or simulating an act that
the phallus,
that naturally could only be performed by another man.
Surely we're not comparing the act of literally getting fucked in the butt to just splashing water on it to keep it clean from poopies.
No,
it's a matter of degrees.
I don't think a bidet is gay. I mean, it could be. But I think getting pegged by your wife is kind of gay.
Like, if the pegging thing isn't gay, we can surely say that the bidet is not gay. So, you know, I'm using that as a starting point.
I think getting pegged kind of is gay. I think it's kind of gay.
I think getting pegged by your husband is definitely gay.
Well, of course, unless you're a woman. I guess that's not
a good point.
Pegged.
I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it that way.
I think it's not gay unless you think it's a guy. Unless you think it's the same sex.
I don't think so.
If you just concentrate really hard, if you concentrate really hard on it being something else, then it's not gay.
Even I think even if you're not into guys, I still think it's kind of gay to get pegged.
Which
is fine. The thing, though. That's the thing.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Jerry, she had man hands.
This leads to another question. Does that mean like Fuda is gay? It's also approximating dude parts.
I mean, I just said, like, gay is a sexual preference for the same gender.
I'm glad that right off the bat we're getting down to the real issues that matter in the world.
Man,
these issues are too complex. Why don't we all everyone in the world just say fuck it, we're all gay, and then we don't have to think about this anymore. Where everyone's gay.
I think that's the big brain thing to do now. In this in 2019,
right? We've concluded this.
Yeah,
everyone's on the gay spectrum. I'm
going to say I don't think Fuda is necessarily. It probably mostly is gay. But I don't think it's always gay.
So surely you'd say that, like, the whole man getting pegged by his wife, again, that's, like, partially gay. Obviously not, like, full gay by your
What about a wife getting pegged by her wife?
Yeah, obviously. It's not as gay as it's less gay than getting pegged by a guy, obviously.
But what about a wife getting pegged by her other wife?
I mean, that's still gay, but woman gay, which isn't real gay.
You know,
so.
I think there's some
that would be
ambiguity.
straight. That would be straight because like of the phallus thing is like.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's straighter. It's straighter than not pegging each other, but it's less
Lesbian
straight.
sex is the
but
most
it's less straight than getting pegged by a husband. Can a woman be pegged?
We gotta drop a graph here. We gotta just like put all these in like
since
quadrants.
We're talking about gay things.
When a woman gets pegged, isn't she just getting fucked in the ass? Isn't that not pegging anymore?
Is there a distinction? Is there a distinction there?
It's still gay if a woman's getting pegged.
Is there a distinction in the nomenclature?
The only pegs I care about are clothes pegs to do the laundry and to
since we're talking about gay things, I want to mention a thing. Double Decker Gungirl, this anime that's kind of a little bit gay, but not really.
Do you want to tell them our secret, Mage?
Yes, I want to.
Okay.
I want to share the secret. I'm gonna reveal the secret. I showed Ben this anime, and although we haven't finished watching it, he liked it, and I'm so happy.
We got like 6 episodes in.
Oh no, yes. Ben watched an anime.
And it was I actually was enjoying it. It was actually pretty good. I know, right?
Anime.
I know. Sad. It was fun though.
It was like that's why
what is the anime? Give me the
called
pitch.
It's called Double Decker.
Double Decker Gungirl.
It's about cops in like New York? Question mark? San Francisco? I don't know. They're in
Maple?
I think it's like an American. It's like a Japanese sort of. It's sort of like it's got. If you took like the character designs from Persona and instead of a like school like murder mystery, you put them in like an American style, or the Japanese approximation of an American style like buddy cop sort of action drama, and then you gave someone a big anime gun with a cool like 3D like I'm charging up my gun and I'm shooting my gun at the end of the episode, like that kind of thing, like a Digimon transformation.
Is gun a euphemism or is it an actual gun? We were just talking about gay shit, so excuse my confusion.
He has a secret science gun that counteracts the effects of a drug that turns people into monsters, not unlike Joy and Lisa.
He has a secret gun that counterfacts people turning gay. That's what it's about. It's about restoring the straightness.
He has a magic gun. Where did he purchase that?
Where did he?
I think he got it from the police department. So there you go.
Well, all right. So I guess it's a secret to the other people, but not to the police.
Mage. Does Mage have answers?
It's similar to the police department. It's called like.
Right. It's like a secret branch.
Yeah, it's like a sister branch of the police.
Okay.
That like deals specifically with like dealings with that drug, because that drug, turns people into literal monsters. So.
Yeah, dude. It changes the human genome.
Sick. I love Blood Bowl.
That's the way to do it, if ever there was one. Hey, I've got a fear, a deep-seated fear and insecurity I want to discuss based on the Mia Math of an episode I just released of green screen memes.
Yeah.
And basically,
saw that on Twitter.
Okay, yes. It's out. It's good. Here's the thing, though. When you are, I consider myself a pretty funny guy. I think I've got some japes and some jokes.
I'm laughing.
Yeah, indeed. It is so okay with this video more than others, but I feel this a lot. It is truly terrifying to me. The idea of releasing something that I'm trying to make funny, but to have it not be received as funny. This haunts me a lot of the time.
Wait,
I guess
what
it's
happened?
what
I stepped away for a bit.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm sure you can relate to this, Jesse. It's my deep-seated fear of trying to be funny and failing, and it is just.
Oh God! If that ever happens, I'll die. I'll kill myself.
Yeah. Well,
thank God it hasn't happened yet, to my knowledge.
Everyone says this, right? But they can't all be gems. No one's gonna succeed 100% of the time. So even if you're funny, even some of the time, I think people will generally forgive you if sometimes you fail. You know what I mean?
That's definitely true.
I think that's true of most everything in life.
I think that depends on the age of your audience. Young people expect to be laughing constantly, or else they'll kill themselves.
Well,
I mean, it's fair to consider your audience.
I've always heard you listen to comedians talk about being a comedian. And they always say everybody bombs sometimes. Once in a while, even the greats go out there and bomb. But so here's the thing: I've done stand up 2 times, and neither time I bombed. So if I never do it again, I'll be the only comedian who never bombed. Yeah. Perfect batting average.
Just leave now. You've done
I just retire. I'm done. But see, I'm the greatest comedian who's ever lived.
This is the issue, though. I mean, okay, so, like, when I'm normally making, like, a video or whatever, so like, this is in the context of, like, the green screen meme video I just released. So, like, like, Filthy Frank did it. You know, other people have done it. I'm like, this would be funny. Jeremy did it, indeed. So, these people are, like, you know, really funny. And I'm like, I did this, I did some goofs and gaffes, and I'm looking back at it, and I'm like, this is not as funny. This is, like, kind of funny, but, like, but the thing is, I have to release a video, because it's Mia Mathova. I have no choice. And I don't want people to, like, I don't have a negative perception of the video. It's like, I go into it, it releases, and then someone says, like, Nate, you're no Filthy Frank. And I'm like, okay, fair, but I bet that in general, this video will go around and some people will have some positive experiences of it, and any potential, like, it's not as good as the best who've ever done it will be overshadowed by what good it does do in the larger, you know, in the larger ecosphere of video creation. And so I'm hinging my will on that, and like in general, when it comes to work being produced, and this is kind of the spirit of Mia Mathova, and I don't know, and Wiagwa and everything I do, to force me to get stuff out so I don't obsess about it. It's not worth just sitting around and being concerned about and worrying that, like, you're gonna bomb, even if, like, this video turns out to be hated and despised or whatever. Like, it's just one video of many put out during Mia Mathova. I did that fucking Sopranos ASMR video last Mia Mathova. If there was ever a forgotten video in the Best Guy Ever catalog, it was that video.
I certainly don't remember it.
Indeed, no one does, and I can't blame them.
See, Nate, you have the perfect cover here, because if this video does bomb, you can just be like, well, I only did it in 24 hours. You know?
I mean, that's true. That's true.
You have the perfect cover.
That defense is, like, if someone, like, if you're arguing with someone as to, like, why you're not shit, then, like, that's fine. But that's a whole different thing from, like, getting people to think you're funny in general, because you can't debate them one-on-one and explain your situation. You just gotta be funny.
Well,
and give them a
humor, like anything
impression.
Else, is subjective. So if some people don't find it funny, just like, well, that wasn't to your taste. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You got your bases covered here. This was a prime time to experiment.
Looked at another way, you will always fail because someone will always not find it funny.
I mean, of course that's true. And I don't know, I'm not trying to say that I'm, like, overly concerned about it, but it did get me thinking, because, like, I do think about, you know, I mean, I was thinking certainly about, like, the Filthy Frank clock. And, like, I mean, but to think about it, like, from another way, like, that Filthy Frank clock thing, like, sure, it's funny, but it was just some retarded shit. He probably just had a broken clock around, and he didn't, like, have some grand plan to make it be, like, you know, this thing that gets used all the time. He was already a very successful guy, obviously, so people would like it no matter what.
And here's another thing. I don't know. Here's another thing to consider. Like, all those green screen memes, like, their hilarity is reinforced by the context that you know them in. So, like, I think if we just saw the Filthy Frank clock devoid of context now, we'd be like, huh, okay. It's all the memes that it's used for that make it great.
That is absolutely true.
You know, it's also, you know what? Kind of just like the fact that it's Filthy Frank doing it.
True. Very true.
Which I mean, what can you do about that?
You know, the Filthy Frank is like
famous. Yeah.
He's like the mainstream green screen guy that is everywhere, that, like, broke into the world. But you know who's the true connoisseur of the green screen? The true champion of the green screen meme is Jerma. Jerma put out a green screen video that was like he did it for like 5 hours, and then, like,
it was a huge stream, and he did, like, every possible like action and thing, like, reaction possible.
When I
like,
finished it,
really
I felt
far
so
away,
deeply.
And he made it for the purposes of, like, having his followers make films with it.
Right.
And it was so robust and great.
I one of the main things I felt as I was, like, editing and finishing was like, oh, there's so many reactions, like, different types I wish I'd put. Really, I skewed mostly towards the, like, negative reaction of various stripes towards the thing on screen that I am referring to. Like, that's the vast majority of it. And, like, that's fine. But I wanted there to be more, like, positive ones that could be used in funny ways. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd be, like, so scared that, like, I'd jump in front of the green screen and go, this guy's a stupid piece of shit. And then someone will just put me behind me. And it's like, oh, no. Why would you do that?
Oh. I mean, I'm thinking about it now. I mean, just, I guess I was taken to the extreme. Like, you could take any of these kinds of things, and, like, I don't know, you could put it to, like, some horrible, like, terrorist footage, and have just be in me, like, ha ha ha, epic joke, my dude.
I just had the perfect idea. I mean, this is the thing I came up with, like, years ago when I was doing, like, the green screen, like, stupid shit, where I would, you get this video from you, Nate. You take the same video and you put it in the background and you offset it by about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And so you're just reacting to the last thing you did.
Oh, that's good. I won't come out of that one looking rosy, let me tell you, because I'm roasting guys in this clip show. Well, that's it. These are my thoughts on comedy and green screen memes, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy.
I did. Savory.
Well, speaking of Mia Maffova, and speaking of having thoughts on things, what about that Final Fantasy VII trailer that came? There's a topic. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't watched
go on.
Nate's video yet. Because I was like, maybe I'll do a video. So I didn't want to watch Nate's first and pepper it. But since we're on the fucking podcast, what did you think?
Well, okay, so first of all, there was the initial sinking in my stomach when I first saw it that, oh no, it's still happening. It hasn't been canceled. Of course, though, that was the initial
I had almost
emotion.
Forgotten.
Beyond that, I mean, things looked cool. Like, my second reaction beyond that was like, oh, it's cool to see Final Fantasy VII, like, looking nice, which it does.
I actually thought it was pretty reassuring for the most part. Right up until the end, where fucking Sephiroth shows up for no fucking reason in the reactor.
I made a big screed. I said a big thing about, like, no, you don't understand. Sephiroth does not show up on Final Fantasy VII until so far later to, like, build him up as an antagonist of, like, mystery and suspense and shit.
Like, I get that, like, because it's 20 years later, you can't really have Sephiroth be a surprise anymore.
Yeah. But you can, though. Just, like, because the audience will be hungry.
It's just, like, it's... like narratively like interesting, like it would just feel better to, like, if you've seen a movie before and you know what the monster that he comes out, like I don't know, some like the Thing or something, you know what the Thing is, but watching the movie from the beginning, the suspense is still built because it's just good film. It's just good film.
Maybe, I mean, perhaps this is a more cynical calculation by Square Enix that, like, they just want to start putting Sephiroth in promotional art. I mean, in every way, I think this is a mistake. If they're doing it, I can't stop them, whatever. They're doing this, like, episodic release, as far as we know. I think that was confirmed recently, too.
The only way that it could be acceptable to me is if they're just doing, like, a thing where they're expanding on Cloud's, like, mental episodes and he's hallucinating Sephiroth.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what they're... Okay, this is the thing, because, like, FF7, to this day, I'm pretty confused as to exactly what the implications are of what's going on inside Cloud's head when we get the, like, black screen, white text at various times. And, like, we know Sephiroth is involved with, like, Genova connection and stuff going on. But, like, frankly, and this is kind of my other point I made in my video, like, I love the ambiguity, and I like not knowing what the fuck's going on, because it makes the game feel better. And do I think that a bunch of, like, I don't know, I don't think there's anyone in the world who, like, really is served by trying to fill in every possible detail in a story. I think that in general, you're better off leaving a bunch of stuff to the audience's imagination.
I mean, I think there's a difference between something being, to this day, confusing and something being open to interpretation. Like, it could be this...
Well, like I said, I know what's going on. Sephiroth is communicating with Cloud, like, through Genova connection, but, like, it's presented in such a mysterious way that, like, you won't know that, but now you will in the remake, because Sephiroth's right there. I mean, like, there are people who don't actually, there's probably a ton of people who, if they played Final Fantasy VII for the first time right now, they'd remember the bombing mission, but they'd forget that during the bombing mission, at the very beginning of the game, Cloud has one of his psychotic breaks, because we all kind of forget that, like, a lot of FF7 is just dealing with how mentally fucked up Cloud really is. We just think about, oh, the Buster Sword, oh, we fight Sephiroth. You forget about, like, the horror element and the body horror element of Cloud literally losing control of himself, and it's fucked up, and it's scary and spooky. And I really hope they preserve that element, but I just think they'll lack kind of the delicate touch that's required.
I'm also really worried that they're gonna do like the fan wanky like arch nemesis thing with Sephiroth that they've been doing.
Because like
even in the trailer, he shows up at the fucking bombing mission and immediately refers to Cloud by name. And it's like,
oh my god!
Don't say that. Don't call him Cloud. You don't care about him.
Cloud, it literally isn't important right now. Yeah. He literally means nothing to
like,
Sephiroth.
Like in the game, like Cloud is kind of obsessed with him because he's scared of him.
I guess he did kill Sephiroth. But, I guess he is the one who stabbed Sephiroth before. So I guess
but like fair, to Sephiroth, Cloud is just
since I have no context for anything.
Well, like in the original game,
we'll be done. We'll wrap.
No, it's okay. No, I legit mean it. That this is funny to just listen to it.
Yeah. Well, like the whole thing was that like. Cloud thought of Sephiroth as, like, the worst thing that ever happened to him. But to Sephiroth, Cloud was just some dork in a blue suit who fucking threw him over a cliff once by accident. Like, I don't think he ever, in the original game, is not until, like, halfway through at least, there's not a point where Sephiroth goes, hey, Cloud, it's me, fuck you. He's always like, who the fuck are you again? Oh, yeah, that little meat puppet that I fucking don't care about.
I think the moment when Cloud starts to actually matter is when Cloud turns out to be the most successful of all the men cloaked in black, who's the one who actually delivered the black materia to Sephiroth in Northern Crater. That's what made Cloud, like, special in this situation, basically. He was the successful one. So
what a good game. What a cool, like, what a unique story that's never, like, been done again.
Damn right it
was. And you know what bothers me? I hate the fact that when this game inevitably fucking craps itself out upon the world, everything that is good about it, Square Enix is going to get all the credit as if they just now made all this good stuff, but everything that's good about it will be the stuff that was good 20 years ago. And they don't deserve the credit. This game is going to get perfect scores that it didn't earn. It's going to be standing on the shoulders of what came before it. And that's my I guess I don't really care. That's my pretend opinion.
You know, the only other thing I want to say about it is that, like, with the episodic release, I mean, God, I could see this game not doing as well as they think it's going to. I mean, I don't know. It is like one of the biggest games of all time. It's getting this like beautiful remaster. No, like people don't care that it doesn't play the way it used to or that it's going to be less subtle. Nobody gives a shit. They just want to play as Cloud again. So I was going to say that like maybe with the weird episodic release, people will like get frustrated and if they make weird design choices. But frankly, like considering how well like Crisis Core sold and like all the spin-offs, like I don't know, Advent Children, everybody loves it. It's probably inevitably just going to do amazingly well. So unless Square Enix really fucks something up. Can you imagine though if they get like a game or two in and then like, wow, this is like not doing as well. We have to drop this. Like we're investing too much in this. And then they don't finish it. Like,
that would
I'm just saying. That would be a true nightmare for everybody. And then when this happens, on that day, they'll come crawling back to me and they'll say, Nate, you were so right. We shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have strayed from God's light, but we did. Now take us back. And I will whisper, no, you die. You die in the muck with them.
It's
gonna be me.
As a gamer whose DNA is not like thoroughly interwoven with Final Fantasy VII. Like I played it a few years ago, not as a child, and I like it, and I kind of want to replay it, but I'm not like...
Me too.
I'm not like...
it's on the Switch.
This whole like thing with the remake, probably I would not completely ignore it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't really feel the need to get another one. But I think we can all agree that the most interesting part of Final Fantasy VII Remake is what they will do with Tifa.
Oh,
we're
boy.
all on the edge of our seats waiting to see if they're going to have, like, maybe a virtue signaling, like, we made her... Like, what are they going to do? It's just like, that's the
real... They're going to give her no tits and, like, big muscles and make her look masculine and be like,
let's just make her black.
They're going to cover up her entire body. They're going to put her in, like, a big coat, a big poofy, like, George Costanza.
Are you racist, bro? What are you, racist, bro? It's time to make Tifa black. This was inevitable. It has to be done.
I mean, when you think about it, right? When you think about it, like, the progressive thing to do, like all the things she does, all those stereotypically black things she does, like, obviously she was black all along,
like a Data White Man, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to change all the characters to be black, and we got to change Barrett to be like albino.
He's got to be the only white one, but he's got to talk exactly.
Have you guys seen? There is an image. You know what? I'll find this for the show notes. There's an image of like It's actually, this actually looks really cool. It's the main cast, like they're all black, and like Cloud has like cool, like I don't know what they're called, but like cool little like
sunglasses,
spiky black hair things, like Lil Yachty kind of. Not Lil Yachty, but whatever. Tifa's got like a big like poofy curly hair. She's a black lady. But then Barrett like is just a white dude, or he might even be Japanese with like this weird like shaved sides of his head sort of thing going on. I don't know. I'm gonna find it because it's pretty cool.
But yeah, like that, the whole Tifa thing, they've made a point to not show Tifa at all. And it's getting me on the edge of my seat. This is the suspense that they will not have in the actual game.
Her, is
the meta.
What if
they've changed it all around? Tifa is Sephiroth now, and Sephiroth is going to be with you in the party. That's the real hoodwink they're pulling.
They better
right
give
now.
Sephiroth big boobies.
Yeah. What if you're wrong? What if they're gonna give Tifa big old titties and it's fine? Will that be fine?
They're investing
will you be satisfied, you animals?
Millions of dollars right now they're investing into her tit physics to make them be fucking perfect. That's why they can't show her yet. They're not finished.
My main issue is simply that, like, look, I played a game that you guys made 1,000,000 years ago. You're making it. I get it. Things have to change. All I'm saying is you can't expect me to not notice when things are different. Like, I will try to judge fairly and decide if it's like a positive change, a negative change, a neutral change. But when things change, my brain will notice. And like, what? Am I supposed to apologize for that? I don't give a shit. It's their problem, not mine. So yeah, that's maybe like if it was a company that had more goodwill towards, I suppose the nice thing to do would be like, give them some leeway, Nate. They're like for example, Cloud. Cloud in the latest trailer looked significantly more Japanese than he did in the first trailer. To me, his eyes looked like more.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Like it's weird.
And frankly, call me a KKK white nationalist member of the Klan. But
quote that.
Yeah, quote that.
No. But like, put that on the green screen.
It's just that, like, okay, that's taking some getting used to, because like, sure, Cloud's been in like Advent Children, he looks more Japanesey, but like in the original game, he's just like a Lego guy with like blonde hair, like, blue eyes. I don't know.
In the original game, he's from Nibelheim, which is clearly a European village.
That's true.
And there's already an Asian character in the game, Yuffie, who comes from an actual Asian place.
True, that is very true.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know. I think you're probably right canonically about that, but probably the audience, right? Like the Japanese audience, because he was just a Lego man, probably looked at him and saw someone like them.
Oh, no.
And we saw someone like us.
I'm sure that's true. And I don't blame them at all. I'm just saying as a natural consequence of like having to make this design more realistic, like now this thing, like I was saying before, like before there was less information as to like the specifics of exactly his facial structure and ethnicity. And we could all project like whatever we wanted. Now, as an inevitable consequence of upgrading it to HD, they basically have to choose a race. And I'm just saying, like, someone is going to be like, that's not how I imagined it, no matter what.
But
so,
I mean, like,
it's just inevitable.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, they didn't choose black, so they fucked up. Like,
completely. I mean, when you have a game that was already multicultural and clearly had people from different regions looking, there were different races from specific different places already, and Cloud clearly was from a tiny little European, like, German fucking, like, Lederhosen town.
I mean, he's blonde.
Yeah, and he's
that goes a long way.
That
goes a long way.
Yeah,
blonde from the cradle.
Yeah, I mean,
so no
do you think the Cloud dyes his hair? Do you think he's the kind of guy to dye his hair?
And he would have to have had like the age of like 9, so probably not.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Gonna go out on a limb here. Yeah, I think Jesse's probably right with the Nibelheim connection.
Yay!
We got to answer the NQ.
Yay, I'm right. And, something's gonna be bad. Woo!
Yeah.
I just want to say though that there was a little bit of controversy I saw online. This isn't a big deal or anything, but like some people were saying that like Barrett sounds too stereotypical in the new trailer. They didn't like his kind of.
Have they seen Barrett?
In the original game, doesn't he literally say he pities the fool?
Okay, his design is 100% a Mr. T based design. I think this is confirmed by the designers. So we all know this. So he's definitely just like a big black guy. Now, I was actually doing a little research. There's some videos on YouTube and whatnot that are like breaking down. This is actually specifically about like if Barrett's like translation to English was like an accurate representation of like the way he was. And it does seem like they played it up a bit, not as much as like the video seemed to be implying at the beginning when I actually watched further. But like he is like a big, fucking brutish kind of yell aloud, silly man. And he does seem a little more like wise in the Japanese translation or whatever. But I mean, in either case, I just want to go on record as saying like Barrett Wallace is like one of the greatest characters of all time. I love him so much. He is so sick. And I said this in my video, but when you do the opening bombing mission, Barrett's like this piece of shit asshole. Like, sure, he fights with you. Okay, great. But he's yelling at you the whole time. He's a big bully. But then you get home and you see Barrett run to Marlene and pick her up and carry her around for like a train ride or whatever. And you're like, yes. Kill Shinra. They must all burn. Protect Marlene.
You're gonna make me cry.
It's like the greatest moment of all time. It's so good. And like, I'm sorry, but like Barrett yelling loud and like being, I don't know, negatively stereotypically black. Look, maybe you could make a case for that. I care so little about that compared to what a great person Barrett is and how much I love him. So, I mean, just what am I supposed to be mad about to anybody who has that concern? I don't know.
There's something
he's like the greatest. He's the opposite of the stereotypical black guy who abandons his children because he doesn't even have this isn't his biological child. He adopted Marlene.
He's a very complex character. Like he's morally very complicated. He's an eco-terrorist. He kills innocent people for the greater good. I mean, and he's also a single father. He has a heart. He's like a smart guy. Like really, it's shallow to see him as a black caricature when he's very much not.
I was just gonna say. It's so, again, like, I'll give people a chance to get, but I did see a little bit of this. It's so games journalism core to just read some of Barrett's, like, intro dialogue and make a judgment on the character based just on that. When, like, you got me and Jesse out here, like nearly in tears, just thinking about what a hero Barrett is and what a great father he is and what a great person he is.
It's so weird that, like, the idea is that like black people now aren't allowed to be stereotypically black. I mean, like, people who are stereotypically black do exist. It's and he's not just that. He's also that and so much more. But people are going to look at it. The real racists, those game journalism tier core assholes, they're going to look at it and go, he's just a boofer. He's a fucking, and so they're saying the racist thing. You can't call Barrett a boofer, you fucking games journalist. You're the racist.
Is that? Wait, I don't know what's a boofer. Is that a thing?
It's a word that I use, and I've never heard anyone else use. And I don't know.
Is that thing about like the people from the other half of Michigan?
No, I'm pretty sure that boofer just means like poor people, like dirty, lazy, poor people. And that's how I've used it forever. But I mean,
what's the one I'm thinking of? Like, there's two halves of Michigan, and one.
That you're talking about.
There's
Youpers.
Like a word. What?
Youpers, people from the UP.
Yeah, Youper. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Well, hey, this thing about on a certain level, I can understand why people will immediately see Barrett's dialogue and at least raise questions. Okay, I get it, but beyond that, it reminds me. It's like the same thing with Tifa, basically. That so yes, Tifa canonically, Tifa has massive tits. Like in the cutscenes, they're even bigger. Those may or may not be like quote unquote canon, I guess. But we know she has large tits. This is established. Let's just say that she had absolutely massive tits that were kind of crazy, beyond the pale, like the CG stuff in FF7. There are women in real life who have those. So, it's a little bit odd to say, we can't show those. Or that we would change it.
That's, somewhat reasonable is, with her body type, those wouldn't be natural because that's just not how it goes. I mean... From what I've heard,
absolutely women who have. Okay, but can't we at least agree that there's got to be some women? If you look at Tifa's, I know I said crazy tit size, but if we look at her more reasonable tit size, like in the original, in her combat model. They're big, but they're not like crazy big, but they definitely stand out and are noteworthy. There are absolutely women, I mean millions, I'm sure, throughout the world who have tits that are that size and look approximately. I mean,
don't
like
women who have big tits deserve to be represented as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously the argument
the point I was trying to make.
They are the colonizing people. They are the ones.
No,
they're
the point I was trying to make is just the fat distribution
minorities.
on the body. It wouldn't just all go to the tits. That's not how a body works.
Are you saying that it's impossible that there's a woman who's skinny with big tits? Could it never happen?
I mean, I've seen in real life.
But do you know if they're real or not?
Are we saying that Dolly Parton is not valid as a person? The saint that is Dolly Parton.
Listen, I don't look at girls with boobs too often, so I wouldn't know.
You know what, Mage?
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
To Mage's point, though. To Mage's point.
Let's think about this. Let's break this down reasonably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's not even like I agree with that argument anyway.
Sure. Okay.
It's probably. I'm sure it's not impossible that a female could look like Tifa and well, okay. I was gonna say and perform like, I mean, they can't like fucking summon meteors or whatever like she does with her fists or whatever. She can't like summon dolphins. She can't summon dolphins with like a hand-to-hand combo or whatever. But you know, be a pugilist.
Right.
But I don't play devil's advocate here. But why does she look like that? Why? It's not because. I mean, she looks like that because
there's an answer,
the
Ben, and I'll tell you.
What people would
I know
like
the answer.
To see.
So
it's
in the game, there's two central female characters, Eris and Tifa. And I think the entire point of these two characters is that their personalities are not how they outwardly appear. Tifa looks like a bimbo with big titties, and she's very shy and very insecure. Whereas Eris looks like a demure, like a nice girl next door, and she's very outgoing and kind of like, hey, let's... touch my butt, please, sir. So, like, they are... The two characters, I think, are meant to be a deliberate subversion of, like, not how they appear at first glance. So I think that is actually the real reason why she looks like that, why she has big boobs.
That's interesting, and I can see that. I can appreciate that.
So I think it's safe to say that there's not zero reason that Tifa looks like it.
Everyone knows that Aerith is all about that compensated dating lifestyle.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I think I'm understanding you, Ben. Yeah. And I reject this meme because it's hurtful to my feelings about Eris.
She's selling a flower. She's selling a flower for one gil.
Yeah.
That's not a sustainable business model. That's
I've
a dog
read the
whistle.
Dojins too,
That's
Ben.
a dog
I've read
whistle.
the Dojins.
I didn't read a Dojin. I read like an article explaining that this is like a thing in Asian cultures or something. I don't know.
Man, whatever. Like... We meet Eris. She's not a prostitute.
How do you know? How do you know?
I feel like it would come up at some point.
Why would it come up?
I don't. I guess it might not. I don't.
Have we hinted at it?
Well, the flower thing is honestly the only thing, but I mean, maybe you could say it's a strong case.
To be fair, at one point in the game, they are all prostitutes, even Cloud.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
but I mean, she lives in like the poorest slum in Midgard. Yeah. She is she lives in like a fucking broken ass church with a hole in the roof with like
no. She just visits that. She has a nice house.
Wouldn't that mean though, Ben, that one gil would go pretty far in a broken economy like that?
Look, maybe
it's sort of.
I mean, doesn't a potion cost like 50? I don't know.
I've literally never played Final Fantasy VII.
I'm just saying that's the kind of neighborhood. That's definitely the kind of neighborhood where people would be getting prostituted.
It's sort of
and compensated dating is not even prostitution proper. It's like prostitution adjacent.
Yeah, okay.
I will say this. It's sort of implied that because Eris is a Cetra and she has this connection to the earth, that's why like flowers and life tends to grow around her in places that she frequents where it wouldn't normally. It's not, flowers don't grow in this crappy city, but at her house, she's got a huge garden of flowers. In the church, there's a patch where flowers grow because she's there all the time. So yeah, it is, she is selling the flowers for cheap, but she has a lot of flowers. So I think it could be sustainable because flowers just grow around her.
I believe Eris is 21, if I remember correctly.
22.
22, that's right, because she's the one who's older, and Cloud's mom says she's got a girl who's older.
She's a fucking Christmas cake.
Unfortunately, no, she's not past the 25th, Ben. Come on.
She's getting there.
She's getting there.
She's only got 3 good years left.
We don't know what Eris's mom does. So maybe she has a stable income, as a Shinra employee.
Maybe her mom is the prostitute. Yeah.
She wouldn't live
we don't
there
know.
She
we don't know.
A good gig.
Well,
a good gig at the Honeybee Inn as the MILF, the resident MILF.
I'm sure, regardless, they wouldn't have been able to even imply that in a video game.
On the contrary, they could only imply it.
But they didn't.
Well,
explicit. There's no explicit implication that she could be a prostitute.
Look, I'm not here to argue it's canon. I'm just saying you could probably read that into it if you felt like it, and you wouldn't be wrong.
I suppose that's fair.
Nate, you did bring up the one thing. The remake is bad, and I want them to change absolutely nothing, and everything they change will upset me. But you did bring up, if there's one thing about Final Fantasy VII that I would update and change, it would be to age up all of the characters. Because in hindsight, when I was a kid, and I read in the instruction manual, Cloud's 21, that felt like to me, he's an adult, he's a grown-up. Now that I'm fucking almost 30, I look back and I'm like, 21-year-olds are fucking children, and I don't care what they're doing. I don't care about their problems because they're idiots. They have no brains. They have no they have no sentience at all. So, if I could change one thing, I would just make the characters adults. Now, make Cloud at least 25.
Hey, just for the record, go on.
I feel that so hard, and I feel like it's like, okay, stop me if this is weird. But I sort of feel like becoming an old man has made me understand the arguments for, why aren't there more, people of color in media? Because I feel the same way about old people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like the fact that everyone's a fucking kid in all my Japanese animes. I'm like, I can't relate to this shit. Where's my relatable protagonist?
Yeah, I'm so sick of hearing about teenagers' problems and 20-year-olds' adventures. None of them matter. Get that shit away from me.
It's media, not for us anymore.
Sometimes I watch anime and it's hello, I am currently saving the world. I'm fighting demons. I'm killing people, and I'm only 14 years old. And I'm like.
This is why I can kind of pretend that someone I don't know. It sort of doesn't matter how old someone is in a certain sense because as long as they're an adult, it depends on the story.
They might act the same, but at the same, I see someone doing something and they're under 20, and I'm like, I can't take. It's hard for me to take you seriously.
There's certain contexts in which.
Sorry to all the Zoomers in my audience.
I love you.
Can you just? I'd rather the world end. I would rather the world end than be saved by a 20-year-old.
That's understandable.
The thing is, in most anime and manga and video games, unless the graphics are super realistic, you can't tell, and the only thing that will make you feel that is the number.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know the number, you will the One Piece characters are in their early 20s.
I think the age is usually young just to attract the younger audience, but it's still meant to be relatable for the older audience, unless
I guess it's just never personally bothered me. I've never really thought about ages as accurate. They're literally just because even if you have a 16-year-old protagonist, they're still acting way above their age.
Let's not forget that in the old days, folks, people used to mature a lot faster than they do now. Alexander the Great was 18 when he conquered the world. So, things we've really infantilized ourselves.
What did you do with your life compared to that?
When I read when there's a character that I like or a story
that I
like,
Warcraft.
and then I look into it and I find out oh my god, this person's 21, I'm like, shit.
Just get your shit together, Ben. That's all.
What do you mean take something? It takes something away from it for me. I can't help it.
I actually remember the first time the age in anime bothered me. I think I was 16 or 17, and I this is the first time I came across Tokyo Mew Mew, and I found out that the main girl was 12 years old, I think, and I just sort of wait a minute.
Yeah, that's surprisingly young for anyone to do anything.
I mean, but then Sailor Moon is 13, isn't she? And I'm just wait a minute.
Is she really?
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
No, look, we're talking about the wrong side of this equation right now, because we're talking about how anime has all these young people. We need to talk about how real life has all the young people now. Like there are people on YouTube who are multimillionaires at like 18 or 19. That's the real
my
problem.
boy James Charles killing it in the game right now. 19 years old.
You can fucking have and destroy a career before you turn 20. You know, life's imitating art at this point.
I want to study the life of like your average Zoomer.
Acro Station. Because, like, I never really think of them as being young because I get along with them so well. Yeah. And they're 10 years younger than I am. They're, like, almost 16.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Isn't it fucking crazy how the internet has, like, made it so that people can, like, learn how to do things and gain an audience and get clout at, 13?
Like I said, in the old day, you could be a warrior by 16.
And I like the fact that I can, like, have... like a cool, like friends of all different ages, and nobody thinks about it because it's not important.
Here's a crazy idea. What if we didn't like shackle like development of a human being to like a rigid societal structure that says like by this year you will do this, by this year you will. How about we just don't do that? That's exactly what the internet should be doing. Personalized learning and development. I mean, for sure. It's
I
what
guess. Doesn't mean I have to enjoy all the consequences.
The peer pressure of seeing people your age in like middle school accomplishing things let you know it's real and it can happen for you and gives you more motivation.
It should be a contest.
Yeah.
I mean,
when I was
a personal
in
one.
High school, I didn't think I could do anything.
Exactly.
And that was our problem.
That was our big downfall. We didn't have a society that reinforced that possibility. Like, I dreamed about doing things at 16, but I didn't know it was possible.
I think we also, we're not necessarily, at least I wasn't one who grew up from, like, little childhood with the internet, which gave possibilities. Because back when I was younger, the idea of being an artist was still, like, you know, easels and paintings. The idea that I could be a digital artist, like, was never something I could have even considered. To become.
That's exactly my point. We all the possibility wasn't there, so we never even considered it. We just played Final Fantasy VII, got really invested.
We sure did. I think,
but not me. I didn't play it at all. I still haven't.
I haven't either.
Tom just sat there staring at the wall, doing nothing.
I don't necessarily feel like inadequate or like underachieved compared to like other people in my age bracket.
I do.
But like 100%. I often
like
I genuinely wonder like, am I less successful than other people my age, or am I like way more successful? Like I think I might kind of be. I mean, like
I think it depends on the metric.
Like,
right?
think of all the people that you've reached with your content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been very well loved. So
yes, I'm homeless, and yes, I'm a YouTuber, which are both knocks against me, I suppose.
But, of course.
But I mean, like, I have created a lot of art that is good and that people, like, a lot of people like. So doesn't that make me, and, like, I do have some money, not, like, a lot, but, like, I have a little bit of money in the bank and I have a car and and I'm not, like, autistic. So I'm automatically, like, in the 90% most successful
top 1%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is a real 1%er, the non-autistics of the world. We have to redistribute the autism. It's only fair.
I can't join you there, unfortunately. I'm cursed.
I probably make I make less money than like all my friends, but but I think there's a lot of people who would, you know, like to do what I do. You know?
I mean, the thing I've always held on to is that like me and like all of us, because we're doing this like online thing, we might be poor in money, but we're rich in time, and I think time's way more valuable.
You know, I'm transitioning to a period where I'm leaving my job in like a month and a half or whatever, and so I will be. That's the whole point. I'm selling my job. I saved up money to get that precious time to try to work on shit. And, so it'll be interesting to see if I can manage it. You know?
That's kind of what I did. Like, I don't know, not to the extent like that you did, but like I did go through. Went through a period of like I was tutoring a lot, and I worked a little job, and I saved up some money so that I could, you know, spend a whole bunch of time just working on like this is when I was working on Vapors 1. I think I was like, now I've got enough money in the bank that I can make it through rent for like a while. And I did, you know, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna invest this money that I've saved up in, you know, having the time to work on this thing and kind of get my sort of art career off the ground with like my first big project. And I think that worked out pretty well. Not.
It certainly is a
sad,
appreciated
not too
work.
bummed about that investment.
Yeah, pretty much hope to do the same. But on the subject of raising our kids, I think that when our generation has kids, when we have kids here, I always wonder like how much does a generation learn? Like we all think that we're gonna do things better and different from our parents. I'm skeptical as to how much you actually do in fact do differently. But like if there's one lesson I would like to take away, it's that I think that like the millennials, I mean, I'm not even making a judgment, but they seem like relatively like the coddled, sheltered generation in many ways, not just, not like whatever. I'm just saying that like, I think with us, I hope to, and I'm seeing these guys like, there's this one guy who's really into like having free range kids, and people like raise their
free range kids.
Well,
just like set them loose in a field and see what happens.
What does Jonathan Haidt? His name is Jonathan Haidt.
What does that mean, though? Like,
okay, his whole idea is that, like, okay, he's got, like, a daughter. He lives in New York City in, like, a very safe place. And, like, his daughter is, like, I think, like, 7.
Wait, did you say that New York City is a very safe place?
No, he lives in a safe place in New York City. Like, not every neighborhood is bad or good. Okay. He happens to live in I mean, this is what he says, so I'm taking him at his word.
Sure.
And so Jonathan Haidt, so, like, he'll do things like he'll give his daughter, like, a $20 bill and say, go to the store. Like, it's, like, 3 blocks away. And so, like, in New York, she'll, like, go down, buy things, and come back. I mean, it's the middle of the day. Like, statistically, these things are very rare to happen. And just, like, by getting your kid to do this, they, if you do it regularly, they get a bunch of life experience. They learn, like, oh, here's life out here. It's not just
super important. Because I think we have this idea that, like, children at certain ages are capable of only so much, when really it's only because we're only letting them do that much. For
sure, yeah.
Like back in the day, like 13-year-olds would be like killing people and fighting in battles.
They'd be breeding like rabbits, is what they'd be doing.
I mean, I
my
nephew
remember. Knew how to use an iPad by like age 3 or 4.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, sure.
They do that stuff. Yeah, for
sure.
He
could navigate to like YouTube and find the videos he wanted to watch.
Children are way more capable than we give them credit for. And if you just like let your kid like get life experiences early, he will become a god among his generation.
Yeah, but I mean,
and that's why I'm
true,
going to be the best father ever by siring dozens of children all over the world and raising none of them, letting them find their own fucking way to grow up in whatever country or part of the
Let
planet
them
they
fight
happen
for the
to be
number
born
2
in.
headband so that they can challenge
yes,
you.
Exactly. Just like my hero, the man I aspire to be like in all things, Yujiro Hanma from Baki the Grappler. I only want to be defeated by my son, by my strongest son. I want him to find me and kill me.
You sire the child, you make the child, you leave a treasure map with the wife, and then you go on your merry way. And then like 20 years later, the sons learn about the map, and they go on to converge on a secret island in the middle of the Pacific. Where you will be waiting on a throne.
I will be hosting a Mortal Kombat tournament to see which of my children can finally kill me.
Oh, that's so cool. I hope that happens.
Hey, I distinctly remember talking about like raising kids just one more time. That my parents, or especially my mother, was like extremely scared of me going outside. Because of, I assume, I never really looked into it, but I assume it was just sort of like high-profile kidnappings, murders that were in the news that caused people to be like, keep your kids inside, there's dangerous people around. And that was just sort of like permeated through
you hear about
all
it
the
every
parents
day
who were raising
through
kids
the TV
at the time.
And social media. It's all up in our ears, so we're thinking about it all the time.
And so it was like not a normal thing for me to leave the house on my own, so I just never did. I would always go like to the park or whatever when there was a family outing, and then I was like 16, and I felt the need to like ask my parents if it was okay for me to go for a walk, and they thought that was weird, and I was like, but you've raised me like
yeah, they
this.
raised you that way, so
I didn't know this was weird.
Wait, it was weird to go for a walk or to ask?
To ask
it
permission.
Was weird for me, to ask permission to go on a walk.
I was like allowed to just like run around
16.
the neighborhood.
Obviously I was a bit too old to be feeling like I'm not allowed to go out the house. It's not like they ever told me I can't go out, but I just never felt the urge to go out because of like this implication that children do not go outside. You do not go outside. It's dangerous. You'll die instantly.
I mean, it's like you could be. What if you're the one case in like a million where you get kidnapped and thrown to a sex dungeon, gang banged for decades?
Yeah, but like, what if
could happen?
Putting it like that sounds pretty funny.
No. Sure does.
I mean, but like, I'm sort of similar, but not. but not at all, I guess. I have this...
Yeah, not at all.
No,
You
I have
like
this
a
habit of
child.
actually announcing when I'm coming in or leaving the house. It was like, if I'm going...
Yeah, you'd say, itadakimasu. Wait, no, it's...
No, before even anime was a thing,
remember.
I would always, like, announce that I'm leaving or entering. Just...
Weeb from the womb.
Tadaima.
Just to let my parents know. But the thing is, I never asked for permission. I would just be like, I'm going. And,
right.
yeah, like, I think... From a very young age, I never was really supervised when I went outside. I was told to, like, play in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood's kind of big. And sometimes I did disobey the rule and go outside the neighborhood, but they would never know because they weren't there to supervise me. So,
Devious.
I'm somehow alive. How am I alive?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The vast majority of everyone... You were almost kidnapped once?
Oh, yeah, no big deal.
Wait, whoa. Don't just fucking gloss over that.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
I don't remember too well because I was quite young, like 6 or so, and I was just like, I was walking by, it was near the neighborhood, and I think that it was back when it used to be like, there was this abandoned store. Well, it was used to be.
This was before the bombs fell.
It used to be at like a pizza place, and there were like 2 adult guys just like eating pizza.
Oh God, Pizzagate.
And I was walking by, and I think I had a balloon in my hand, and they were like, "Oh, that's a cute balloon." And I was like, "Yeah," and I said, "Hey, thanks. It matches my T-shirt." And not that I'm remembering, it sounds really terrible what they said next, but like my stupid head didn't understand, and they said like, "Oh, you know, you're kind of cute. Yesterday we kidnapped a girl just like you," and I'm like, "Oh,
whoa, why would you no, tactical error, my dude. That's not
they were just like, "Oh, okay," and I moved on.
What?
Did they say that as like a joke?
I didn't understand.
No.
Okay, wait. I'm just curious. Is it possible this guy was like in a way joking, like just trying to like spook you for fun? Because that's a weird thing to say.
That's the thing, though. I don't know. I'll never know.
Is this when you took your spiked baseball bat and just beat the shit out of this man until he was dead?
I just took my balloon and left.
How old were you?
Like no more than 7, I'd say.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that probably it was just a weird joke.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, like
you know, is that so crazy
like,
from like an old
it's
person
funny
to say
to
like
scare the kids?
It is crazy.
When I came back home, I told my mom about it, and she just looked. I never saw my mom so scared.
Yeah, I'm just saying, is it so weird from like an old person that's like, "Oh, I'm gonna gobble you up"? I mean, it's a little more on the nose. It's a little more on the nose.
I mean, I had to translate, and just like the way I'm remembering it seems ominous, but at that time I didn't understand.
Oh man.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm just
you walk home with the balloon. You say to your mother, "Hey, Mom, what's kidnapping? What does that mean?"
Yeah. And she like puts down her fucking spatula, like, what happened? Tell me everything.
I kidnapped these guys. They're coming to live in my house now.
Now I'm remembering all sorts of shit about my neighborhood. Boy, how am I alive? How?
Really... I don't know. Clearly you were the strongest.
You're very much an enigma.
I mean, there are other people.
Mage, your lifelong devotion of purple, the patron saint of purple, has protected you all this time.
Yes.
Your life of you're like Mad Max, fucking road warrior, apocalypse wandering, like bombed out cityscapes, scavenging for goods and resources.
Have I told you guys about like that there were like drug dealers living in my neighborhood? Apparently.
I mean, I can imagine.
Oh, that's not so strange. There's drug dealers right around the corner from me right now.
That's not so strange. I'm a drug dealer.
How dare you insult my people like that?
No, but like, you know, the shady, scary kind. I'm not talking about weed.
Sure.
Yeah, like
not wholesome, friendly kinds. Like me.
I think you'd probably be pretty
wielding
spooked.
machetes and shotguns, and then jumping out from behind the bushes and going, "Where drugs?"
Yeah,
and
that's what they do.
There was also not in my neighborhood. You're kind of cute.
I got a girl just like you, addicted to heroin yesterday.
No. In a neighborhood not too far from mine, but I never went there because I had no reason to. There was a rumor that there was a kid around my age, I guess, at least. You know, I don't believe this I necessarily because, you know, kids tend to lie. Mm-hmm. But apparently there was like this guy, something similar to a Lithuanian mafia boss, and he had a kid around our age.
Whoa.
And yeah, like you had to, and like they were, you had to be nice to this guy, or else you'll get in trouble, or so they say. But I really don't think the guy would hurt like kids that are like 7 or 8 years old just because they were mean to his son.
Right.
No, he just had you get kidnapped. That was his plan.
One of the
quote
guys
unquote get kidnapped.
One of the guys I live with works at like a deli, and I mean, I just have his word for this, but apparently it's run by someone who is like mafia adjacent. Like I think the deli is on the level, like it's not like a crime deli or anything, but supposedly the guy who owns it is like a mob guy.
Well, it's not a front. He just has a legitimate business.
As far I haven't heard anything about it being a front.
He just
for
likes
anything,
the deli.
I think he just sells meats and cheese on the side.
If things go south, you got to have a backup plan. I suppose.
Exactly. If the money dries up in this whole crime thing.
All right, there was something I wanted to kind of bring up to kind of bring it back to what we were talking about with like people having more options for like being creative and doing it quicker. I was wondering, do you think that because our generation was so coddled and we never had to worry about any of that kind of shit because it was all taken care of for us, that's what allowed a lot of this technology to spring up and have it be possible for like people 10 years younger than us to have all these opportunities? Like we weren't worrying about
you mean like the digital arms race was bolstered by the fact that everybody needed these apps because they couldn't function normally?
I mean, I guess that's one possibility. The way I was kind of presenting it was just that because we never had to like sweat the essentials or like figure out how to function because our parents were doing it for us, it like left us to be eternal dreamers and make all these like services that allowed us to kind of pursue more creative things.
Hard to say.
I definitely think there's something to that.
I don't know, like
because I don't like. Do you? I don't really see our parents like ever even coming up with concepts like this, even like an analog equivalent. Like that. That was never. Because like I don't know about you guys, but like most of the like my parents, like they're always much more grounded in like get a real job, get an employment. That's more rational. Don't strike out on your own or anything like that. But like because like they were so coddling when we growing up, like it just left me with all this like time to think and dream and want to do more than just like do nothing.
I don't know about that.
I feel like it's just that like the internet has made it so that like it's such a game changer because it's difficult to have like an analog equivalent for an easy way for somebody to get published and have everybody see it without going through a publisher. Like there's no real analog way to do that. On the internet, it's completely different. So it's
tough
maybe
to
half
say,
and half
man. It's because like it's such a different paradigm.
I don't know, like that whole super prevalent notion that like the millennials are a coddled generation. Like I don't get it. I don't relate to it at all. I think it's totally bullshit. I mean, like how can millennials be like the coddled generation and at the same time be the generation that's totally fucked all the time by everything?
Well, they're fucked a particular way.
I feel like maybe we were coddled a little bit. Like we didn't like go out and like run around in the neighborhood and stuff. But then again, we didn't grow up in like a place where there was a lot of shit to do. Like,
I mean, it's a weird generalization to say that a generation is coddled or any certain way. Because I mean, like there's poor people and rich people in every generation.
I think it's not like the people are coddled. It's that back in the day, there were only so many things people did because there wasn't so much stuff to do. With the advent of video games. And like taking up like so great. Like video games are great, and they're just like an incredible medium that just sprang up, and now we have those, and they're obviously very distracting and take up a lot of our time, and cause us to not go outside. Like I don't think it's like that we were coddled, but we were distracted by so many incredible things that were being made.
I think coddled's not the right word. Maybe shielded might be a better word for it. Like,
well, it's not like our parents were doing it, because like the parents of the people, like the older generations, are the one who are saying we're coddled because we can't very generally speaking, like have less, like we don't use telephones that much. We don't like talking on the phone. But it's not because we
don't
like
use napkins. We don't go on luxury cruises.
It's not because we're like scared. It's not like on the whole we're scared of these things. It's because there have been things invented that are better than that.
We're not interested.
Yeah,
in that
it's because we're
anymore.
smarter and we're more frugal because we fucking had to be.
Can I just say that I think the idea of a luxury cruise is like the most deplorable thing.
Oh God,
I
almost went on one. I was so close to going on a luxury cruise last year. Because
wait, how? Why?
Because So the wrestler Chris Jericho put together his own rock and wrestling rager at sea, where like he was gonna this was like a big thing. There were gonna be like famous wrestlers, like wrestling matches on the ship. There were gonna be like rock bands, like fucking Fozzy, which is his rock band, and probably like other ones. It was just gonna be like a big like a 3-day concert/wrestling event on the ocean, and like tickets were like $1,200 for like a good cabin. And, like, I was so fucking close to getting it, and I got talked out of it at the last minute. Like, yeah, it's too much money, and I'm so angry that I was talked out of it. But luckily, he's doing another one. There's gonna be a Rocket Ranger at sea, too. And this time, I'm fucking going. No matter what. Nothing will stop me.
Oh,
you gotta be there, dude.
Well, that sounds pretty neat.
There's an exception to every rule, as they say.
It's just like, in general, the idea is like spend a shit ton of money for like 3 days where you don't have to like do your own laundry or whatever. I don't fucking.
I get.
God, it's like going to the beach, but if you feel like the luxury cruise thing, I've always felt like, you know, go like have a nice day at the beach. Except you're in a prison ship. You can't go home when you want to.
You are in a fucking prison.
But there's lots of activities to do. You gotta look on the bright side.
I don't know, look on the bright side. I don't want to like this thing. Like, I don't want to be tempted by this weird nonsense.
You gotta think of the target demographic. If you're like a boomer and like all you do is like worry about your lawn and shit, I'm sure that's a great respite from like spending the weekend like trimming the hedges or whatever the fuck old people do.
But then you come home and you got a real long lawn. You got to do double lawn.
Exactly.
I guess the fact that
you
it's
gotta
like
weigh the pros and cons.
Like you literally can't do anything. Like you can't leave. You don't get phone reception probably most of the time.
If that's being a boomer, sign me up. Hey man, if this is being a boomer, chain me to the wall. God, can you imagine if I went on a wrestling rock and roll cruise and there was like a Titanic situation and that's how I died? What a perfect death. That's how I want to go out. I want people to say forever, whatever happened to Endless Jess? Oh, he died on a rock and roll wrestling pirate ship.
Whoa, and dude, remember at the end of Titanic when the band's just like, gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor, and they're like just playing as the ship goes down.
As it's going down.
Rock and roll band?
What I'm seeing
they
happening
do a pile drive
is like
that snaps the ship in half.
you got lifeboats, but there's not enough. So you gotta fucking fight for him. You gotta fucking wrestle each other.
It becomes a Royal Rumble. People throwing each other over the top of the boat.
Exactly.
Last man standing gets the one lifeboat.
Everyone's like, I've been training my whole life for this, and then they flex so hard that they rip through their shirt and they're like, and just start picking people up. And
if you don't think there's any such thing as a glorious death, then you haven't fucking been on the rock and wrestling rager at sea.
It's like that's the selling point. It's like, come to the rock and wrestling cruise for a glorious death. It's like we will cruise for 3 days and then we will fucking blow a hole in our hull and sink.
You know, if my two options on going on a cruise were to, one, either emerge a champion who had defeated all my rivals, or to die a glorious death, those both sound like great outcomes.
There's only one lifeboat, and that's the prize.
The prize is you get to live a champion. Yeah, that's right.
It's the only prize worth fighting for.
It's on international waters, so no one can convict you of anything you do in the process of attaining it.
Is the whole international waters thing like the same as like if the teacher's 15 minutes late, we're legally allowed to leave? Is that like the same level of legitimacy, or is that actually true?
I don't know.
In movies, it's because I think nobody can. I think it's
no one has jurisdiction.
International waters is that people can technically see what you're doing with radar and stuff, but different countries would argue different things over there, so everyone just agrees that we're not going to bother, because if we start arguing over patches of water, it would be like a big mess.
I don't buy the movie trope that like if you sail out far enough and you're technically in international waters, you can just like kill someone.
I mean,
like,
I believe
no one can convict me.
I believe that on The Simpsons. On The Simpsons, they did that thing where like they couldn't like sell booze until they were in international waters. But selling booze is a far cry from like the other shit. So that one seems
that
more...
I totally believe.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse can answer the question for us when he sabotages the cruise ship once they hit international waters. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because like of all the cruises that have gone into international waters, I don't know of any that broke into like mass murder sprees. Because like, lol, you're legally allowed to kill that guy.
Yeah, it's just a gong. This is like a gong and a cannon blast happens. Like, right now you can kill.
like the Hunger Games.
Like everybody
style,
gets their daggers that they've been concealing.
Man, I can't wait for this movie adaptation from Hollywood to come out. It sounds like a great option. Just fucking death ship. It's gonna be great. Can't wait to watch it.
I bet that exists. Kind of reminds me of Kaiji, now that I think about it. Didn't that happen?
Kaiji. Well, kind of. I mean, they weren't competing to kill each other, but the losers ended up getting sold into basically like human slavery / they became like medical testing guinea pigs or some shit. I don't know.
Damn.
Yikes,
boy. Kaiji's good.
It's great.
It's a good program. Recommended.
Speaking of program, speaking of Kaiji, speaking of anime, speaking of animation,
I was waiting for that.
I animated a Gungirl doing a little jump down and shoot thing.
Dude, it was fucking sick.
Yeah. It's really good.
How long did that take to get done? I'm just curious.
It's for the thing.
The Crown Prince MAP. Multi-animator project. There's so many things that MAP stands for.
Now we have.
I was just gonna say, I can think of a few that are not complimentary.
It's always misanthropony in my heart.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it was a little thing where half the screen is black. You can choose the left or the right, and you just have to have a character do something to the middle of the screen, and then everyone's animations are going to be compiled, and this is going to be. They're all going to be interacting with each other in some way.
It's like a TikTok kind of thing. Isn't that what TikTok does? You can do like the collab things with like one half of the
plot
screen.
twist. I'm going to be part of it too.
Really?
Cool. I kept.
Are you a lefty or a right?
How long does a
5
clip
seconds.
have to be?
5. I think it might be closed. Like the deadline was yesterday.
Yeah. I already submitted mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it posted anywhere, or is it a scene?
I haven't posted it yet. Like no one's posting it, so I guess people are keeping it a secret for the most part. I'll post mine on my channel as soon as the actual MAP is up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you, Gib? Can we get a link to yours at some point?
It's on Twitter, right?
I've posted it around. I can post it again.
So we can put it in the show notes so people can see.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I made a tweet where Redman is having one of his comic moments, and Gungirl jumps down and shoots him in the head.
Excellent.
But I've been animating a lot of things, and that one I feel like is the result of me having been animating for weeks, because it's so good, and it didn't even take that long.
It's fucking. I mean, there's like little things about animation that I'm too stupid to be able to quantify in technical terms, but I appreciate with them when I see them. And just the way like everything's weighted, the way the movement feels like it has like some sense of gravity to it, and like how it moves naturally, like the timing. So there's a little bit of like weight in between each part of the action, so the next one has like the right sense of movement. Like, it's all on point. It's fucking great.
I like animation, but it's so difficult, and like. It's just like I've been working on that like 5 seconds animation. Like I went through I think 3 or 4 drafts before I settled on a very simple sort of idea, which was basically just a little blob dude bouncing around and bouncing against the side of the screen and then attacking with like a water gun. Not an actual gun, Pokemon water gun thing, sort of thing. And I had a lot of fun with the, bouncing and then bouncing off, but like it bouncing off of the screen was very difficult to do, oddly enough, to give it like a believable weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's the hardest part. It's super fucking difficult. Actually, speaking of animation, I'm putting out a call. I tweeted about this earlier, but I'm putting out the call on the PCP. I found out that if you have a Kinect for the Xbox One, and if you get a PC adapter for it, you can use it for motion capture in 3D software, and I want to try it. So if anybody bought an Xbox One on launch and their Kinect is just sitting in a closet somewhere, I will pay for the shipping if you want to send it to me for research purposes, so I can motion capture and make Azumi do cool fucking shit.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah,
I want it to happen. Yeah, it looks rad.
You'll do like a backflip, and she'll do a backflip.
Yeah,
but then
exactly.
You'll be dead.
And then I'll break my spine, and
and then she'll break her spine.
It'll be sick.
That'll be how the game ends.
Simultaneously whip and nay, and it'll all be captured.
help commit to my suicide by sending me.
Yeah. You should definitely do that just so you can do the dab and have her dab.
Oh yeah,
funny.
One-armed dab. It'll be a new thing.
Shit.
You got to cut off one of your arms to be able to do it.
I feel like a one-up dab would look like something else.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out when I do it. And
did she lose her left arm or her right arm?
Right arm.
Right. Okay. So you dab to the left.
She's a forced lefty. Force that southpaw.
Oh, that sucks.
It would still work as long as the arm that you are dabbing with is the one that goes over your face and not the other one, because then you just be kind of making like a dramatic side pose. Wouldn't have the same, but you could, yeah. She could manage it. Yeah. I'm sure.
Thank God. Have to scrap the whole character if she can. You know, what's the point? If your character can't dab,
you can't dab.
what's even the point? They're useless.
Are there characters without arms out there who are just totally worthless now? Who's a character without arms?
Ren from Katawa Shoujo.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess that's true.
Shawnee. He doesn't have arms, or at least we don't know.
That's true.
We have never seen his arms.
He claims that he canonically has no arms.
Okay.
And I think he's probably the authority on the matter.
Oh, Paradox Crocs. Only he gets them sometimes, as I understand it.
He's got, when he wants. He's got arms whenever he needs them, so that doesn't count.
Okay, so he's got the privilege. Yep.
Well, fuck him. He doesn't get that. He doesn't get the government benefits from being armless.
What is it? Trackmaster Snake, or what's his name?
Trackpad Snake.
Yeah, Trackpad Snake.
I guess he's just
a snake.
Does he have like tiny little arms, or?
I think that's in contention. I think that's an ongoing investigation.
I'll wait to see the official government report on the scandal after it breaks.
All right, people. What else is happening? What else have we got? We got to burn some more time before we get to the voicemails.
I brought up animation just to say that Gungirl's cool, and the Balejape thing is in coloring stages. I finished all the line art.
Do you have an estimated time of completion for this, or is it kind of still up in the air?
I don't know how long the coloring is going to take. Obviously, it's taking less time than the line art, so it won't be like another 3-4 months. It'll be like maybe a week,
the animation,
maybe 2 weeks.
Because like you have
the animation is like 4 minutes.
Oh fuck, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's probably too much. It's probably like a big
I'm stoked as fuck now.
I mean, it was like it's really cool. I even had to like cut some of the things I wanted to do.
I know that feel.
But like it's a really big project.
Damn.
Perhaps too big.
Never.
It feels like a little bit of I worked hard, not smart on this one.
Oh, I know that feeling as well.
But the results are gonna be very good, and I'm excited.
This is gonna be sick. I'm like legit excited for this.
Yeah. It's fucking cool, dude.
How long was your other the spider boy cool thing. And the fish at the door? Those are much shorter, if I remember correctly, right?
Those were like the fish at the door was first half of year 2 of like half a year, so 6 months. That was. The other one was another 6 months. And then
it took you 6 months to make them?
The project was 6 months long.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
But both the timelines of those animations were much shorter than 4 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like a 1 minute and then a 2 minute film.
Right.
And then the third year was a 3 minute film, which took
you're just
the whole year.
Going up a minute each time.
Right.
So like doing a 4 minute animation obviously takes a while. I'm not like, but I have the luxury of not having to do any of the preliminary stuff to like get my idea, present it to the class, present it to the people, and then go back and like rework it. Like I already had a webcomic going. I know exactly what's going to happen. All I needed to do was like write down what scenes need to happen in this thing, and then I'm doing it.
Sick.
That's fucking awesome.
Coming soon, ladies and gentlemen, the finale of
Coming
Balejape.
soon.
How exciting!
Speaking of coming soon, Vapors 3 only has like a couple more pages to go.
Oh damn!
Whoa.
I'm not sure how to handle releasing it. Here's what I don't know. Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that maybe because like I need some time to like prepare the Vapors 2 Kickstarter, right? Like that's been a thing I've been planning to do for a while, but there's like a lot of shit that needs to happen. Like I need to I need to write some like the like side stories for it. I need to like get people on board who are willing to do them and work that whole thing out. I don't know. I was thinking that maybe when Vapors 3 is done, maybe I would do like, because I have the Vaporettes from the previous one. I was thinking maybe like every Friday like for like 3 weeks, I would release like a new like Vaporette Friday, and then Vapors 3 comes out, and that buys me like a month to like, you know, build up to making this Kickstarter or whatever, because I need time, or I don't know. I thought maybe that would be like a way to build some hype for it or something.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I certainly look forward to them. I'm looking for. I haven't had much. You know, It's All So Ugly. If that's still the overarching brand here, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just Ben Saint.
I think it's just Ben Saint.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hungry for content for a while.
Yeah, I gotta. You know, I don't just want to drop it. I feel like it needs hype. It needs. I want to make it. Yeah. I want to make it an event. Like it's got to be. I want to build up to it. So I'll probably do that. So I don't know. In the next little while, I'll probably be announcing, like, there will probably come a day where I'm like, hey guys, if you're listening to this, that means today there was new like Vapors content on saintcomics.com or whatever.
Word.
Patreon.com/BenSaint. And then I'm very stressed about it, honestly. Finishing a thing is very stressful.
I feel that same stress.
Yeah.
Well, why? What about it? Worried that you haven't done everything perfectly, perhaps, or
that I'm I'm ashamed of everything I've ever made. This especially.
Yeah. I feel that way.
Whatever the latest thing is, that's the thing that I'm most like, why did I do this?
Yep. I'm personally dying to get a new video out so that I can push this green screen meme away forever and I can forget that I ever did it. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben, are you experiencing completion fatigue? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Maybe. What does that mean exactly?
For me, completion fatigue is when you've worked on a long project for a long time and you're at the end and you're just like, I don't even know. Like, I'm barely invested. I just want it done. I've been staring at this for so long. Yeah. And like, your hype to get it out is matched by your fatigue of even looking at it at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, definitely.
Because like finishing the Azumi demo was hardcore completion fatigue.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I should be more excited because it's like, this thing I've worked on so long, like it's almost done. It's almost time to put it out there and reap all the sweet accolades.
Exactly.
It's time to do the thing. It's time for the moment that I've been working in service of. This has all been leading up to. But actually, it's dread. It's like, oh God, it's almost done. That means I'm gonna have to actually show it, and like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
Now that I'm staring down the barrel of that, and I'm like, maybe this was all a mistake, and this was definitely all a mistake. I'm shut it all off. Shut it all down.
The pressure
that's the temptation.
Talking about a project, this is why it's so nice to have zero hype for something and then to drop it, so it can be pure positivity. And anyone who criticizes, like, well, fuck you, man. I mean, it's free and I just released it to everybody. So what are you complaining about? You can fall back into that, I guess. But as soon as there's narrative stakes for one's own life and hype builds and whatnot, it's scary. It's spooky. I don't like that one bit.
When you pull it off, the rewards are worth it because you deliver on hype and it makes it even bigger.
That's rare, but yes.
I don't know why I don't feel completion fatigue for this. Because Bale Jape, I said it would be finished like at the end of 2018. And it's been going on for a long time. But I don't feel like it was like my fault in terms of like I'm not working hard enough. I've been working like constantly all the time. So it's like, it's just a matter of time until it's finished. And it's not like I'm staring at anything or a blank canvas and like, I don't know what to do here. Because I planned it out, I guess.
I think that's the benefit of like doing a release cycle for Bale Jape like you're doing. Because you do a page or whatever and then you release it. Because like it's different when like if you were doing Bale Jape where all of it was done up to this point but none of it was released and so you've just been sitting on it this entire time, I feel like that's a different kind of psychological pressure where you have this huge backlog and nobody knows about it. So you've just been toiling away without any context if it's good or not.
This animation is kind of like that, because it's a lot of stuff that people haven't been seeing.
So when you're in the last like 15 seconds of the animation, maybe you'll have some completion fatigue, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be free of the curse, in which case I envy you deeply. Because
I really don't know why I don't feel like that. I like, I'm just like curious. Like, is there like an element of like you don't know what comes next in the work that you're doing and you're trying to think about it, or is it just like you know exactly what you're doing and it's just doing it that's difficult?
Wait, you're talking about, well, how long have you been working on this thing?
Months.
Okay, then yeah, you should be getting it. I would be getting it. I find like the longer I work on something, the more depressed I get about it, and in general, because it's like, oh, I've spent now I've invested all this time. Like, okay, it doesn't even matter how successful it is or how much people like it, because like it still would have been better to have done the same thing faster. So the longer you take doing it, the more it's like, well, you know, the end product will be what it's going to be, but I've wasted more time.
I feel like that's a losing mindset.
Oh,
which
absolutely.
Is why you're feeling like that.
I would not say completion fatigue is good in any way.
It's a big losing mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Needs to be overcome. So if you just naturally don't have it, you've ascended to a higher plane, and I'm jealous.
Yeah,
but it's like, okay, with vapors, like a page of vapors, it'll vary. But I would say that a page generally takes no less than 4, but no more than 12 hours. Like 12 would be pretty rare. Like usually probably somewhere between like 6 to 8 would probably be like the average. And that's long enough that by the end of it, I'm like, and the longer it goes on, and the longer it goes on, the less I want to keep working on it. And the harder it is to like make myself, you know, push to the end. And so that's like with Beastcapades, I didn't get that because a panel of Beastcapades was done in, you know, 5 minutes sometimes, maybe 10 or 15, maybe half an hour. Like a GIF might take a couple hours to work on, but like I feel like working on something, there's like a sweet spot where like the best things and the most satisfying things and the best work generally happens when you have a project and you, like, however long it takes, it's under that threshold where past which you start to be like, ugh, because like this as soon as it takes long enough that fatigue starts to set in, the temptation is like, I don't want to look at this anymore, I don't want to look at it, and that just makes it take longer if you give into that.
I suppose there's an element of like going a little beyond your own skill level. Like nothing I draw anymore is attempting to be better than what I can draw. Like I used to think, it's got to be perfect, and then I would never do it right. And now I'm just, you know, it's more loose and more, you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
But it still works because that like positive vibes for whatever is allowing me to work longer and harder without getting sort of dissatisfied with what I'm doing.
I think you've figured out a good method here, and we could all learn from it. To just not. I mean,
I don't know
put
what
so
like
much pressure on yourself.
Any method is like subject to like personal like, you know, differences. Yeah. I don't know like whether anything I could say as advice would work with Ben. Or
probably
Tom,
not. It's just pathological for me. Yeah, I'm just broken.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
time
with that
attitude, fixing it.
No.
I still have hope that maybe one day I can overcome my innate stupidity.
Same.
But you know, it gets worse with every passing day.
I think that the less I care about the quality of my drawings, the better I feel about them. Strangely.
Well, yeah.
I know what you mean.
Because what would you get? What's there to bum you out if you don't give a shit?
You know, on that.
Well, it's not that I don't give a shit. It's just that I care less about. I give less of a shit. Like I understand that I'm not the best artist in the world, therefore I can draw.
Like
anyway.
once I managed to draw a background, and it's a pretty crappy background, but because I included the background, it gave my drawing the atmosphere, and I still love that drawing. I showed it to you guys because I was just so proud of my boy Arai just sitting there, and there's like a city behind him, and that's like the crappiest fucking city, just like MS Paint sort of quality city.
Well, like
but it works.
I just something that I've definitely improved at in my craft is not putting in too much detail on backgrounds. Like if something's in the background, you can make it can kind of look like crap. Like not like crap, but it can be very simple. You don't have to really sweat the details. And if you've composed your panel right or your image right, it fades into the background and you don't have to think about it too much. I think I've mentioned this before, but I used to fall into a trap of like spending way too long on like way too many details of the background of like a tiny panel that like you can't even see them. And I still do that sometimes, but it's something I've overcome. I do it a lot less
that's
now.
Smart.
And I'm a
didn't
lot more
you,
efficient now.
Didn't you post like an image of you drawing like a really extravagant white picket fence like all the way across the background? Like kind of recently?
Yeah, there were a couple Vapors panels that had a lot of
and
like
it had
trees
a car in the driveway.
Yeah, trees and buildings and like houses and a car in the background and a long white picket fence and clouds and stuff.
I mean, it looked really good.
Thank you.
But I can imagine that took a long time.
I didn't like it. The only thing I like drawing are people, faces, and like explosions and energy like beams. Things that are moving, things that are like emoting, are the only thing that's interesting. Trees and buildings, they're boring. I hate them. I wouldn't draw them ever if I could get away with it. But I gotta set the scene. Like, and yet I spend so much of the time like I can draw a face. I can draw maybe a chest up face making an expression and maybe a hand. I can draw that in like minutes. But then, like, if I have to like draw the room behind them, if the trees in the sky and stuff, that's like the real labor, both literally and emotionally.
That's what's ringing in my comments. I just can't. The backgrounds are just like, I hate how bad they look and so empty. I'm just miserable with those comic pages.
But you can like minimalism
I tried
is so powerful and it goes a long way and
I mean I also don't like backgrounds, but I feel like, I mean, look at the Gungirl thing I posted. The reason there's just like a groovy background is because I considered drawing like the floor and I drew a line. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't even draw a floor. I didn't draw anything.
It was great. The color palette of this background reminds me of my favorite scene in any cartoon, which is the part in Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, where the kid falls down into the sewers and is chastised by Michelangelo or Raphael or whatever the fuck one of the Ninja Turtles about how doing drugs is bad. And the sewer sludge is like vibrant, like yellow and pink for some reason. He's living in like neon, like cheese is like what the sewer looks like. And, it's my favorite. It's just my favorite thing, and that's what this looks like.
You ever feel like when it comes to all this kind of, we're talking about compromising and you know, finding ways to get around stuff. I always feel like such a piece of shit, just in general, when I concede to like, okay, yes, the reality is I cannot spend all my life on this one panel making it perfect. I'm always like, if life was perfect, if I had the time, I would make this one thing like as amazing as it possibly. I dedicate, 10,000 years to honing the craft of doing this one task that I'm now going to instead spend like 2 seconds and kind of just bullshit because, I need to get by.
I feel the opposite.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I find a corner that I can cut that doesn't like negatively, right? Like when I draw a background quickly, right, and I don't put in a ton of detail, but it still looks okay, I feel like I have found a shortcut. I feel like I found a corner that I can safely cut, and I'm like, yes, I've shaved a little more off. Like I should do more of that. Like I need to cut as many corners as possible, and every time I find one, it's like a victory.
Time savers that don't hurt quality are great because like you have a purpose for the work. And if you can find ways to deliver the work faster that doesn't sacrifice the purpose, then like you're working better.
Absolutely. I want to be, man. So a new episode of Manben got released or got translated. You guys know Manben? I've talked about this, right?
Yeah. I kind of forgot.
For the viewers and for Nate, I guess, or anyone who doesn't.
And me.
It's or Mage. It's so good, Mage. You should watch it. It is a show where this. Oh God. I always forget his name, but there's this manga guy. He's like a pretty famous manga guy. I've heard him compared to like the Stephen King of manga. Okay. He's very like
Ito?
He sort of makes manga for like the working man's, like he just fucking churns them out and they're just very kind of middle of the road. Like, yeah, anyone can appreciate this kind of manga guy. He's successful. He'll contact some other manga man or women. There's a couple episodes about women. And he'll put a camera in their studio and just film their studio for a week. And then they'll cut down the footage, and he will meet with the person, and they will watch the footage of them working and just like comment on it and just talk about their process and talk about their workflow and their techniques and all that stuff. It is so good. There's some guy has uploaded like every episode that's been translated to Dailymotion. There is I think there's like 7 or 8 that are translated. There's more that aren't translated, and I'm so mad. I hope that in the description he says like, if you want to help me translate this, contact me here. I hope that people contact him and help him translate, because I want this. I want all this shit. I'm here for it. Wait, what? Why did I start talking about that? How did I get on to Manben? Oh, I was just gonna say, watching that, like, I just want to be like one of these guys. I want to be like one of these guys who puts out like a fucking chapter a week. That's like a dream. And like, I know that I can do it, right? Because I could be like them, because I don't think that people are that different, right? Like, I think that it's not some inherent difference between them and me. I could be doing what they're doing, and I think it comes down to like a combination of, one, they've got the discipline. You know, they work at it like a real job. They work like 8 hours a day. They show up to their office, and also the fact that they have an office. They have like a specific space for working that they go to, and while they're there, they work. Yeah. I don't have that. That's a problem. There is, and also like their workflow pipeline, like, you know, some of these guys have assistants, and obviously they can churn out more and pass it off to their assistants to finish up. Obviously they're going to be more efficient at getting stuff out. But not all of them. Like, some of them are solo. And yet they still, and they just, you know, they have made their workflow pipeline as efficient as possible. And I want that. I want to be a content machine.
Oh, don't we all? I think, I very much agree. And you just gotta find ways to achieve that. Like the office thing. One of my main things is currently I have like in my apartment, I've got like a bedroom, and then I have a separate office. This was one of the main things I wanted moving from the last place where we lived. I lived in such a tiny place. My office was the bedroom, and I'd be working so often while like Michelle was trying to sleep and recording shit. And we worked out a system, but now I have an office I go to, and that one change. The problem is it's also like, it's where everything is, like my video games, my computer, my work stuff. It's all the same place. I hope to divide that up, but already I have a space where like now I have rooms where I can set up a green screen and like record a bunch of bullshit, and do all kinds of good stuff. So I'm just saying that I totally agree. Having those kinds of things to facilitate the expediency of work, as well as to shift into the mindset, is something I definitely aspire to. And one day, I straight up want an office that I drive to every morning, where I film things, where I record things. And then at like, I don't know, whenever I feel like it's late at night, then I come home and I'm not doing it anymore. And so it's like switched off. Yeah. This is the goal for me.
Do you guys remember like Casey Neistat's 368 program? Yeah. Where he just bought this really big place and he was going to do all this stuff.
I have no idea what this is.
It was like a series of vlogs. Like, he bought a huge place in New York. He documented the construction and stuff. He fitted it with a kitchen and like a studio space downstairs where you could record things. And it sucked. All the content that he made in that place is just like boring, stupid shit. And I feel like it's such a waste of Casey Neistat having that.
Did that project like fold? Is he still doing that?
I don't know. I've unsubscribed because every vlog is exactly the same thing, and he's fine.
To a degree, that's Neistat for you. Yeah.
It's like there was like this news show that he had like with Vsauce 3.
I didn't watch any of those. I didn't watch any of the actual 368 content, just his vlogs.
Yeah, because it was really, really like tone deaf. Like, it didn't know how to get an audience for somehow. It was just like really. It was exactly what you would expect from a vlogger in terms of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Doing a news show.
Right.
But it was really boring, and it was still just a news show. It was just like, there's nothing interesting there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is exactly what I would like. Like, a PCP HQ is like that idea of a space where you can just go downstairs and there's like, it's quiet, you can record, there's a big space to put things up.
Yep.
But they just did a really bad job of it.
It sounds to me like those guys, they led with
They should just give it to us, is what I'm saying.
We can supply the soul. They can supply the tech and the money and the space. We've got
Project
the soul.
Project 368, more like Project PCP.
Indeed.
It's happening.
Indeed.
We're making the change.
Episode 368 of the PCP, when we take over.
Should I acknowledge what Digi just said in the chat here?
What did he say?
Do you want to talk? He said, it might be possible to do RadCon at my house. We definitely have enough space and a way more usable space than the last house.
Oh, well, that's certainly interesting. I mean,
that is interesting.
He should give us a house vlog so we can see.
Have we? Yeah. Has he done like a tour of his
new
house?
I think Digi was saying that he doesn't want to. He wants to reveal it piecemeal to like the rest of the world. But I think perhaps for us, for these kind of technical purposes, he might be willing to break it down.
Yeah, RadCon, right? Munchie and I, Munchie more than me because he's already going to BronyCon. Tom, you're also already going to BronyCon.
Yes.
And I've been like hemming and hawing about like the idea of doing a RadCon either before or immediately after BronyCon 2019 in August, the very last BronyCon ever.
Indeed.
Where we can like get the gang back together and all like fuck around and be like stupid idiots and laugh at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a beautiful idea.
It is.
It really is.
I love it so much.
I have not committed, but I'm very much like the idea.
It has to be real. It has to happen.
I've basically 100% verbally committed.
I'm like
I haven't
90%.
I haven't like bought a ticket or anything.
I've already confirmed I won't be able
going.
to make it. So just.
What a shocker, Mage. Call me confounded.
Well, I can't make it during the summer. That's like a known fact.
You just it's because you're with your grandma, right?
But like 90% of the year is
We'll
summer.
get a ticket for her. We'll bring grandma.
No, I can't.
That'll be a stretch goal for the kids.
We just need to do PCP European vacation.
Oh, that's true. That's what we really.
We just need to find that guy that you talked to when you were 7. Have them kidnap you. Bring you to BronyCon.
We'll just put her in a big hamster ball.
She'll be fine.
Better idea. You guys come visit me in Lithuania.
When are we gonna do PCP HQ Wally World? And then we go to Las Vegas, and then we do the European vacation.
Yeah, Europe PCP.
Classics.
You're a PCP.
That's good.
More like you're a PC shit.
And then we call.
No.
Anyway, fucking the BronyCon RadCon idea is really cool. But the reason I've been like not so sure about it before was because not so many people were interested. It seemed like Digi was completely hardline against it.
Digi was hardline against it. I'm very enthusiastic that he's maybe...
His tone has warmed somewhat.
Because now he lives in Virginia Beach again, which is not so far away from...
Just to throw out the facts there, I bet it would be possible, now that he's thrown that out there, perhaps the RadCon could in fact be centered at Digi's place, or we could all be...
That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, okay, you know what? Never mind. All right, fair enough.
So we could have the RadCon at Digi's place.
Right, theoretically.
We, have a good old time there, and then go to BronyCon, and then, get Brony drunk, sing Brony songs, and dance in the street. Do
Discord,
like high hoof.
That's our national anthem.
Summer afternoon.
We'll do that all day, and then it will be incredibly
some cider,
epic.
Drink some hard cider.
I mean, definitely, if we go to BronyCon this time, I'm going to get drunk because the last time I didn't. I didn't get drunk enough.
It's overrated. It's not even fun. I hate getting drunk. It's shit.
I know, but I felt bad that I wasn't drunk enough.
Plus all the
because I was drunk enough to feel like silly, but I wasn't drunk enough to do anything silly. So I felt like when we went up on stage. Yep. And I was just sort of like standing there. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, it was silly.
I don't know what I'm doing. And you, Nate, was screaming.
I was screaming. I shredded my voice. That was fun. And Digi, of course.
I don't know whether we're going to be able to get any like panel stuff, but it'll be nice to see.
I think Munchie said we already got shot down, didn't we?
Oh, really?
We didn't get shot down. We just didn't get a response.
Yeah, they just stopped.
Disgusting.
It feels like time's really moving along here towards BronyCon. So I don't know how.
We have a few months left, so
we'll see. We'll see.
Man, if we're gonna kickstart RadCon 4, we'd have to get on a ball with that pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, these are all hypotheticals right now. Technically, I suppose. I don't really know what we have left to figure out.
Press hoof in chat if you like the idea.
People, I can't. Munchie and others will be there. So no matter what, if you want to go or whatever, like Munchie at the very least will be there, 100% confirmed.
And me, I'm going.
And Ben,
I will be there as well.
There you go. That's at least 3. 100% will be there. So
I'll be there, probably.
There you go.
Unless I decide to go on that cruise instead and go sink into the ocean.
We couldn't blame you.
You should sail. You should take control of the ship and sail it into the harbor and smash
just
it into
crash
the.
it.
The surprise appearance by the pony cast.
Yes, the pony cast will arrive finally at their destination all this time.
Oh my god!
Incredible.
Well, that's pretty good. Okay, can I just
yeah.
I want to see that the pirate. Does the ship have a name?
Oh my god, does it?
Oh no, it doesn't.
Oh no.
Think about it. Some
no wonder we've been crashing constantly. We didn't
forgot
cross
to name the damn thing.
Some to think about. I just want you to crash it into the convention center. just
oh,
like
no, it does have a name. Remember, it was the SS Friendship.
Of course.
Thank God I remember.
There you go.
Okay, I want to see the SS Friendship crash in a demonstrative fireball into the convention center.
Hopefully, it's doing
truly the last BronyCon.
Hopefully, canonically, it's been repaired after its scuff on the waterfalls of Canterlot, as made famous in T-Bap Resurrection.
It's like it. Yeah. Easter egg. That's an Easter egg.
Yep.
It's like in Tails Gets Trolled. How they have the Justin Bieber concert to get all the trolls together so they can blow it up and kill all the trolls. That's what we're doing for the last BronyCon. We're getting all the bronies together so we can ram
one
the
last
SS
turn.
Friendship into...
So we can ram the SS Friendship, and then like all the wrestlers who are on board charge out with the kayfabe commander at the front
to mop up the survivors.
The ultimate culmination of every arc from all these years.
Pretty much.
It's all leading to this singular moment. All the plot threads, the rich tapestry, all combining to this one singular event.
Oof.
Cool.
Then hopefully we can unlock true final boss of Lauren Faust, who will, be there and fight us in hand-to-hand combat.
And bear my children.
Can you imagine if Lauren Faust did go? That'd be fucking insane.
There's no way.
I mean, unlikely, but would be amazing.
They're just keeping it totally under wraps. Everyone loses their shit.
Their god has abandoned them.
Yeah.
A relatable feeling. Well, I mean, I feel like it's time to move
it's the
on.
last one.
Should we?
Voicemails.
There's actually there's one more thing I wanted to mention quickly before we wrap up. I just wanted to say that I posted Azumi game, the demo, on Newgrounds last week.
Yeah,
I saw this.
The reception was fucking way better than I was anticipating.
Oh, great.
It got front paged and featured.
Whoa.
Hey.
So that
is so cool.
Dude, I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that tweet.
It
was like,
cool.
oh, holy shit, you did it.
Yeah,
so
like
the demo.
Tom Fulp follows me on Newgrounds now, I guess. So that's cool.
Whoa.
So yeah, it went over really well. People seem to be digging it. So I will be making a full game. Working on it right now. And
nice.
Incredible.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I want that fucking Connect to do more cutscenes and stuff with like shit. It'll be fucking rad.
Send him its shit, people. You're not using that Connect.
That makes me wonder if maybe I should go. Maybe I should. I never considered posting on Newgrounds, but maybe I should go back and like post that champion.
I think
game
you should. I think it would do really well.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I posted the game first on itch. It has like 7 reviews, and I thought that was or 7 ratings and a couple comments. I thought that was pretty good. I posted.
Yeah, mine's the same. It's on itch. It's got like a couple of.
I posted it on Newgrounds with no fanfare.
Yeah,
it currently has 70 favorites, like 450 ratings.
Not bad.
I got like 4,000 views, and like it's like front page and featured right now. It's like on the Games of the Month page on the game thing.
That is so fun. I saw you said like as someone who was on Newgrounds a lot as a kid, it was really meaningful, and I'm like, I get
so
it.
Fun.
I would feel the same way.
Maybe I could. Do you think
snakes
run away from snakes could
yes
could
absolutely like some of the games on there are like not great, so like you guys are already way above the bar, like because like people dump like my first game and stuff on there, which I guess is essentially what I did as well. But like speaking of like a weird experience, I totally forgot this. I never mentioned this on the show. Do you remember Idelia? He watches the show. He did
that name is very familiar.
He submitted a game him and his friends did like last year to us, and we were talking about it on one of the episodes.
Was it that one that's basically what's that plane game by Vlambeer?
It's like some weird name, but I know. But you're correct. You're thinking of the right person,
right?
I keep in touch with him because like I knew him back from the Pony days and everything, so we've gone back for a while now. And he's doing like programming stuff in school, and he's also doing like tutoring for kids on how to make games. And he just messaged me out of the blue one time. He's like, "Oh, your game's on itch, and I'm teaching a bunch of kids like how to make games and stuff. And during their breaks, they just go on itch and find games. And one of these kids found your game without me telling them it existed, and they loved it. And when I told them you use the same software we're using, it blew his mind. He showed me a video of this kid playing my game, and it was like the coolest thing of all time.
Whoa,
that's great! What a
so
great experience.
So
must be amazing.
fucking sick.
Yeah. Well, awesome. That's a pretty high note
Tom,
to go out on.
How can people send you that Connect thing if they want it? How should they reach you?
Just DM me on Twitter. We can figure it out.
Was that at Tom Oliver?
Tommy Oliver says, yeah.
Tom Oliver says. Okay, Tommy Oliver says.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. All right, now they know. Well, all right. Sick. I guess let's go to voicemails. And Gib, do you have those prepared?
Oh, yes, the voicemails.
I'll do it, man. I'll go to SoundCloud. I don't give a shit.
No, it's just that I might be a little slow because I'm not used to it.
Oh yeah, there's a rhythm to get into.
Yeah, if the voicemails are of higher or lower quality today, it's because Gib went through them instead of Nate. So let us know in the comments who's the better voicemail meister.
I'm fascinated to find out.
All right. So this first one is application for joining the TCP Teen CP.
All right.
Go.
Dude, I want to fucking join the Teen CP, the TCP. I'm a teenager, and I'm autistic and gay, and also I'm the one who has been on a bunch of voicemails, but you don't know because I use like a fucking retarded name every time, like, you know, just like do the BM shit, like.
Ooh, that's good. That's some good funk. You could be the minstrel of the Teen CP, I think.
Found the bard.
Please let me be on the Teen CP. Please, fucking goddamn it.
They want new blood, dog. Contact them.
This is like the platonic ideal of a PCP voicemail.
Yeah. Begging for attention and inclusion.
It's a little boy begging for attention, playing a piano. Actually, that was pretty good. That was some pretty good piano.
Don't you just love how life imitates art? Like My Little Pony, Cutie Mark Crusaders, PCP, Teen CP. It all
it's clockwork.
It's like it rhymes.
Like clockwork.
It's amazing.
It's like it rhymes. That's right.
If this is the guy that did all those other like funny piano things, then they'd have a pretty powerful member if it's true. The Teen CP.
I wish I knew how to contact the Teen CP. Munchie is not here right now, but I don't know. I guess keep an eye out.
What an unfortunate name.
The Teen CP. Oh no.
Teen CP.
You're right. I just realized.
What? Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Gulp.
Okay. Next one, I guess.
Oh, now I get it. Haha. Oops.
Wow.
That's really funny.
We better distance ourselves from that. We better go off Twitter for a while.
Okay, this next one is bonus episodes. What happens? Follow-up question.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I have another follow-up question. To last week, I was the one that asked about what happens when you buy the Patreon, like the bonus episodes, and you told me it was YouTube links, and that's very good. I like that. But can I just pay once? Because, I pay for it, and it's $5, and then I get the links to all the videos, presumably. And then could I just immediately sign off? Like, once I give you $5, I never have to pay you again? Or do I have to keep paying to keep having the episodes? Because I'd like to only spend $5, and I'll give you money later when I actually have a way to give you a bunch of money. But now I don't.
No,
relax.
Right. I feel like
good money situation. So could I do that?
I feel like this is like
you don't
boring question, boring answer.
You just don't tell people you're doing that. What the fuck?
The answer is you pledge once and it'll automatically go to your first month $5. You will then have access to all of the previous ones.
Yep.
If you unsub, then you will no longer be subbed and you won't get access to the ones after you unsub.
Indeed.
I think what he's asking is like, can he hold on to the links?
I mean,
for later.
Well, our big problem right now, from what I understand, is that we have them in a playlist. So if you have the playlist link, you can just unsub and keep using the playlist link, and it'll always be updated.
Don't say the unspoken rules.
No, all right,
Stop.
no. Here's the thing, though.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
The thing with it is like every month. It becomes a better deal because you're getting more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
For $5.
Absolutely.
And if you spend $5 to listen to a bunch of bonus episodes, every month there will be a new one. So if you unsub, if you unpledge, you'll have to repledge again if you want to listen to the new one.
I mean, what we should do is we shouldn't put the new episode in the playlist until the next month.
Well,
so you can never get the new one. The new ones.
I have long suspected there's a few people that when the new episodes come out, I see people come out the work and say, Nate, why won't you add it to the playlist? And I'm like, why do these guys want it in the playlist so bad? Big think. I'm pulling a big think right now.
Well, here's a thought.
Then again, the people saying that are in the bonus lounge, which you can only get into if you're currently pledging. So maybe I'm just crazy.
Could we maybe like refresh the URL or something for the playlist every month?
I don't know if it works that way, but
make a new playlist every month. Oof.
You could make a new playlist theoretically, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I know, sure. But yikes!
I mean, yeah, that's.
I mean, there's really no way to do it because I was gonna say we could use like a Bitly link and kill it and change it every month, but like as long as you get the URL that it redirects
it would still refer to the main.
The playlist really is the Achilles heel of this entire business model. Like we have to get rid of the playlist.
But it's so convenient for people, and I hate to take away that kind of convenience. I just hope that people. I mean, this is really people are pledging to support the show. I think.
Hopefully, most people.
Yeah. There is a bit of an honor system involved, but like
in addition to getting the bonus.
And you know what? And the reason I've never been too concerned is because I do just pay a general attention to the total views of each bonus episode, and frankly, they're lower than like our number of like bonus episode patrons. So I'm like, all right, like this isn't getting out of control. This seems pretty in hand. If there was like thousands of views, I'd be like, well, okay, it's nice that people are interested, but this is spreading a bit beyond what I would like it to be.
I mean, it might not be a terrible idea to once in a while, maybe refresh the playlist, or if you can't do that, just sort of copy it and make a new one and have a new link, just so like maybe someone who paid $5 like, or if you just have 2 years ago isn't like still just code. I mean, I know people are gonna get the link if they're dedicated and they want it, and that's fine, and I don't really blame them for it.
Yeah, I mean, another option is to have like a master post on Patreon, so the playlist is there. And if you're not a patron, you can't click it in.
Fucking boring. Look, if you have the opportunity to steal something and get away with it, do it. Take it. I don't care if it's anti-business of me to say it. I don't care if I'm shooting ourselves in the foot. Always steal. Always pirate. Always steal. End of story.
I
understand.
Closing my
tabs. The rules
tabs.
are different when it's my wallet being affected, Jesse.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Like I said, I don't blame anyone for doing that.
I really think most people do it out of goodwill. They want to support.
I think so too. Yeah. But we shouldn't make it like. So we shouldn't make it like so easy.
Right, we want there to be
like
a hurdle.
Inviting it.
Right, all right. I couldn't agree more. And just of interest, Sam Harris, for his like membership program or whatever, for like his podcast, and he does like extra stuff beyond the scenes. Like it, he has like an app or whatever that costs a little money. The interesting thing about him, I might have talked about this before, but it's just that like he says straight up, like, here's the deal: the app costs like $5. Like, I think, like, forever or something, or like $10 forever. Or no, I think it is monthly or whatever. But he says, like, okay, just so you know, anyone who wants this app, all you need to do, email this email address and just say, hey, I can't afford this right now. We will give you, like, the month we will just give you, whoever you are, message us on this email. You get it for free. The thing is, though, you have to also message us next month for it to say that I still can't afford, please give it to me. So there's a little bit of work involved in doing this. It's not a get out of jail completely free. But if you're poor, there's nothing easier than just sending an email. So that really seems like a smart business model to me. You're giving people what they need, but
that seems like a small business model, except for the work involved in like going through emails.
Well, the thing is, he's got a team, so for him it makes sense, luckily. But for us, we're a little bit too small of an operation for that, I'd say. Well, okay, that was a juicy one. Yeah, let's go on.
Right, this next
Patreon
one is
plummets.
I think
week. I don't know why.
by the Grandmaster of the Teen CP, the first guy who came up with the term.
Now, the Teen CP is getting more popular than the PCP.
We have to destroy
We're
it.
cannibalizing our audience.
It says apply to the Teen CP or I'll have to fuck you in the ass. Go.
Auditions are open for the remaining slots of the Teen CP. And I wanted to get the message across that the Teen CP is better than any other shit. So I thought that I'd say it in the only language y'all Neanderthals can understand. Flames of fucking hell. In rap form.
Oh my god.
I may be four, but baby, that's still more than all the good vids you made combined. Bitch, that's shame. Lately, I haven't been laughing at any of this shit. I blame all you boomers but Munchie. All the rest of you fools with a punchy political discussion is rehashing all shit. Y'all as basic as white girl wrist got on a scrunchie, honey. I've tried Azumi because Tom's the only one that can speak. Just as much for me. Sorry, Tom, but you've peaked. Now it's time for some multis. Because I've been going easy. Okay? Hey, Hippo, you wanted to rap? That's a bit hypocritical come for this movie boy crap. Sure, stop animating, but why are you hating your hypocrite? Need some more money stimulating his flaps? Chaps, me and my fuck off nature debates are assless. Swinging an anime sword up your ass and 9 reviews won't come out for years. You really fucking a retard if no one could hear? She may be a mage because I think I've been cursed. All these sage curse words got me dispersed. But I'm almost feeling bad going in on her. But we're still, my 90 seconds is almost up. Oh well, that's all the time I have here. But you fuckboys try and come at me, and you better get ready for the squeakle. Apply to the Teen CP to...
I wish I could have understood what he said.
He didn't do me.
I think he didn't have time. He just didn't have time.
He's leaving me for the squeakle.
That was like an early Justin Bieber video.
I like the idea of a diss track. That was really cute. I really wish I could understand.
Yeah, our boys need a little bit better mic.
I got a lot of it.
Yeah, I got most of it.
I think I understand Hippo.
Does this man have a name?
Well,
I'm just saying, does this
I
man...
I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, he has no name. He's Teen CP. Your name is Teen CP, as far as I'm concerned. You're the embodiment. That's you. Mr. Teen CP. That's you. Well, sick. I'm pretty happy.
Can't wait for the squeakquel.
I don't feel thoroughly devastated enough. I need more.
God, I say he's cannibalizing our audience and he's roasting us at the same time.
Maybe this is the true rivalry we've waited for all along.
What cheek? What cheek, I say.
All right.
This next one is Hater Man.
Ooh.
Go.
Hello, my name is Hater Man. I just made up this persona because fuck you. I hate everyone and everything, myself included. The number one thing I hate about your podcast is that you don't let Nate and Ben, because who else would be having this stupid argument, come to a conclusion in their debates. I understand the other members are discomforted by this, but not letting the argument have a conclusion is at best a waste of time. Between 2 episodes of this podcast, there's been no real conclusion or compromise on the PewDiePie debate. The whole thing should have just been cut if there was never going to be a conclusion. It would be better to finish the debate at the end of the podcast after the voicemails where the other members could leave if they so choose to, than to have a half-finished debate where the other members are like, haha,
that's
Thanos,
stupid. This guy's stupid. Get him out of here.
No, this guy's exactly right.
Okay, here you go, dumbass. You can't conclude such a debate. You'll never end. You guys will never yield to each other.
Exactly.
Mage.
Yeah, Ben and Nate will not yield. There will be no conclusion.
Ben and Nate are Batman and the Joker. They are destined to do this forever.
Yeah, that's true.
That is on point.
Yeah.
This is why we need 2 best brothers bitch about politics. Like that's the only place.
We do. I want to do it.
That's a very good idea. Like I think that would actually be successful. Maybe outside of us.
I'm pretty sure this is the same guy who commented like the exact same thing on the episode.
I agree. I think it would actually be successful. I literally would be fine with going and like posting it on the old T-Bat channel and just converting it.
I am somewhat, I don't know if I really want to do it, but like the idea of sullying it's a retired deceased channel. The idea of turning it into a politics channel makes me want to fucking puke. It makes me want to
make a new channel.
Branded as T-Bat Politics.
Fine. We wouldn't have to put it on the old channel, but why the fuck not?
This is what we need to do. You guys need to do
capsule.
Just as a bonus episode. We need to do it as a bonus episode, like a 15-hour debate where you guys just go until you're too exhausted. That's how every episode will be. For it. And if people like it, make a channel.
Yeah, make a channel for it. Have Ben draw like people instead of ponies this time, and just like instead of doing it weekly, just do it whenever there's a big debate to have. Like in the news or something.
Literally would love to.
Every time a political debate pops up in an episode, we cut it and then you guys redo it on that show.
Okay,
just keep going forever.
I disagree with this notion that like debates should or can just be like resolved. Like sometimes it's not really a debate. Yeah. We're having a conversation. Yeah. Just have it be natural, and it can peter out, and it can come back in the next episode. Like.
The reason we dropped the PewDiePie thing last week was because we weren't getting it. There was no.
These are complex.
There was no agreement.
These are complex issues. So if you just like pretend to have reached a conclusion, it's going to be false and dumb.
I mean, I really think, like, okay, either one or two things will happen. One, we go, like, really research data, and we're able to, like, disprove or make a really strong case that the other person is wrong. But barring that, I really think basically every political debate, if it's not about the facts, just boils down to the core values of the person, because you will be attracted.
The idea that debates need to be resolved or need to have a winner is a cancer on all of society. They're supposed to be an exchange of ideas, not necessarily a battle of wills.
The winner is the fact that it happened.
It would be nice if we could come to agreements, but like, I don't know. I mean, do people really think that that's how it works? Like that doesn't tend to happen.
I don't recall ever watching a debate with a conclusion like that. You know,
I mean, you watch, don't they always say the debate
like
is
Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris? Like those discussions, like never they never like come to.
Yeah, they always end with
two people talking about things.
Actually, isn't it the point of a debate, like an official debate, to just present your opinions, to argue a little, and then at the end let the audience decide who was right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think most of the time, that's...
Yeah, like no one's ever swayed in a debate. Like, no one changes their mind at the... Every debate ends with, well, you made some points and I made some points and we can agree to disagree because we're all sick of arguing the end. I mean, that's how every debate in history is supposed to end.
Maybe that's what Hater Man is really craving. He wants that moment of, like, we've reached the end, we cannot go any further, let's shake hands and say,
he's just another lost soul looking for an objective truth in the universe that he'll never find because it will never exist.
Maybe,
and I sympathize.
As do I. I mean, I got nothing else to say on this. Yeah, we'll let you know if we have any political shows going or something.
I don't know what we would do it about specifically, but I want to do it.
Maybe, we could probably try it sometime. We could argue about like where it should go, what to do. I mean, maybe hosting it just a separate video on the PCP.
That'd be the first debate. Like, where will this show go? And what is it?
What about this? I mean, what if we put out like a promo on TBAP for the new TBAP, the new bad TBAP?
Okay. I suppose perhaps something like that I could concede on. I suppose, as long as it doesn't. Okay. I just don't want to flood what I consider a nice old channel. Not every video was on it, but I like it to be resting in peace.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay. Just for intellectual curiosity, here's my case why I wouldn't mind. I mean, one, the people already subbed to TBAP. They subbed, because it was a show in which you and I talked about stuff.
About ponies, though? So who knows how much is specifically that, though?
Yeah, there's that. But, there's both. It's both.
Okay, I gotcha.
And two, the fact that the acronym's the same it's funny.
Yeah,
it's
funny.
It's still TBAP, even though it's completely different.
I hear you on that. My argument is purely sentimental. It's purely sentimental.
You'd have to trick people into getting invested. You'd have to frame the debate as something pony related, like Celestia versus Luna politics, and then slowly as the argument goes on, you drop the facade, and then that's
it wouldn't be worth doing if we had to do that.
I'm not saying that would be the whole thing. Just in the beginning to get people to click on it, but 20 minutes into the video, it hard pivots, and then everyone's trapped because they're invested.
No, see, No, I want to draw on. This is for a new. I don't want the pony audience.
Then why would you post on the old channel? Like, there's no benefit.
There's a small, but it's more than 0, I suppose. You know, so I don't know.
Anything under than 1,000 doesn't matter in YouTube numbers.
T-Bap's got like 15,000.
Yeah, it had like 16,
I don't think you get even 1,000 people interested in political discussion off of a dead pony channel.
That's possible. That's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll get back to you, people. Let's go.
I
to
think
the
this
next
is.
one.
Okay.
All right. This next one is Clusterpunk Kitchen.
Oh, hooray!
Oh, hell yeah!
Everyone's favorite show.
Oh, Munchie's missing it.
Oh, well, that's what he gets.
And go.
Pound of beef in the pan.
Yes.
Grass-fed from the ground. Stir it round. Stir it brown. Spaghetti sauce without the noodles. Liquid all the way. Mix it in. That's your din. Repeating jokes is a sin. Saltine crackers in a bowl.
Oh.
Saltine crackers save your soul.
Is this?
Use the sauce as a dip. That's good chip.
Yeah! That does sound good.
Saltine crackers with Whiff's brand Parmesan crisps. You could have a healthy keto alternative.
Oh.
How dare you show your face in my presence, Ben?
Who is that?
You know the penalty for substituting carbs in this my kingdom?
I'm sorry.
Keto Delito!
Oh my god!
Oh
Amazing.
my god!
Take a bite, change your life.
Wow, the production values.
Fucking VoiceGrail confirmed. Holy shit.
We got it. You're welcome to the VoiceGrail Clusterpunk Kitchen. You've earned
God,
it.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. How dare you?
Keto Delito.
My 1 week. He used the forbidden technique. It converts ketones in your body to plasma, and then they come exploding out of your pores. The heat of the surface of the sun. It's very effective.
Hey,
but only against
I got a couple of
my
people
kind.
on Twitter. A couple people were messaging me, asking me, like, "Hey Nate, can you tell us like how to get like edited audio into SpeakPipe?" And like somebody replied to it saying that there's like a setting that you can set on Windows or something that allows like your general audio that's being played to like be received as input audio or something. So like if somebody could clarify that, I guess in general, I think some people are looking for that information. If we could give them
directly through SoundCloud?
No. It's like there's something you can do on your computer settings so that when you go to SpeakPipe and you hit record, like all audio like happening, like if you're playing like something on YouTube and like your microphone, it'll all get funneled like into the SpeakPipe like input.
Well, like. Okay, I mean, like, for me to, I would open up OBS, and I would just set it to, like, register desktop audio, and then I would just start recording and play the audio files that I wanted to play.
For OBS, that's fine, but SpeakPipe doesn't have that kind of, like, a setting on it, so it's like a more primitive sort of thing, so you need,
you have to, like,
an
change your desktop audio to a mic input. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how to do it, but, like, it is doable, clearly.
Yeah.
People have been doing it for a while.
Look, if we get, I'd love to give people some information on that, so if anybody has that, I don't know, put it down below in the description if you've got, like, steps or something, so that people can see it. We'll pin that or something.
Maybe OblivionFall knows. Maybe OblivionFall knows.
All right. What you need is a program called VoiceMeeter and VB audio cables. What VoiceMeeter does is it stands between your microphone and all of the programs on your computer, acting as a middleman, and it lets you shift your audio inputs and outputs around. Basically, you can shuffle them however you like. The version I use is the default simple one, and basically you have free main channels. You use one for your microphone, one for your desktop audio, and one for communications. If you want to know how to set this up and how to do it right, check the show notes for this timestamp. Just look at where you're at. I will be linking download links to both VoiceMeeter, VB audio cables, and a proper tutorial explaining how to install it, how it works, If you do this, not only will you be able to pre-record your voicemails, but you can also basically have an infinite soundboard at your fingertips when using Discord or Skype. If you have a folder full of sound effects, you just press a button, boop, they can hear your audio, boop. But that's enough from me. Back to your regularly scheduled PPP-ness time.
Maybe OblivionFall knows.
He probably does. That guy knows everything.
Okay. We pay him enough to know all the answers, goddammit.
Indeed we do. By the way, you know what? I've been feeling bad about this. I've been meaning to, like, do a tweet on the PCP, like, saying, like, hey, guys, just want to let everybody know, congratulations to our new editor, Oblivion. Like, I didn't do it for the sake of the mystery, but now it's been, like, 2 weeks beyond that. So I really got to do that. I feel like he's been
for all those
not
people who follow the Twitter but don't listen to the show. Yeah.
I'm sure there's
it for them.
You know what? That's for some reason I feel like the Twitter is like the place where real announcements are made, like big life changing. But we get way more listeners on the show than people
like
on the Twitter.
Your wife.
So I don't know, man. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's move on. What do you got?
Next one is critical mistake about hyenas.
Sick.
Go.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. I see the title of the episode, Trans Hyenas. I know where it's going. We're going to talk about the best part of a female hyena, the coolest thing nature's ever invented, the pseudo-penis. But no, we didn't get it. We didn't get it. So, I just need to tell you, you idiots, you're talking about like these big, hulking female hyenas. It gets crazier than that. They have enlarged clitorises that are so big that they literally are called pseudo-penises by science. This isn't a word I made up, unfortunately. But they use that to literally subjugate the males, as you would.
I actually knew that, if that makes you happy.
Why would you call trans hyenas and not mention the best part about them actually being trans?
Fascinating.
We brought it back to pegging. We started with pegging.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We can just end the show right here.
It all comes full circle.
They literally fuck the males into submission? Is this the gist of what's happening?
I think they do have the ability to sort of like make them erect, if I remember correctly.
Oh dear.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, a click can be erect.
Can that be on Ben Saint's tombstone? It started with pegging and it ended with pegging.
Yes.
New shirt, maybe. I don't know.
It's a shirt with a picture of a tombstone on it with that inscription.
It's Ben Saint's tombstone with these words written on it. What a great idea.
No.
Okay, well, fast.
Why not?
Thanks for the info.
I want the words, put this on a shirt on my tombstone.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
And I want the words, put this on a tombstone on a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
What about a shirt that is a tombstone that says, put this on a shirt?
Put this on the ground. It's too heavy.
All right, what do we got next?
Next we have Riddle My Ass.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
And
we're getting down to it now.
We are.
What supplies did you bring, Robin? I brought everyone a Whopper, a Fry, and a medium Mountain Dew from Burger King. I didn't see him yesterday, though. He must be his day off. I don't work at Burger King. Did you bring me anything, Robin? Of course not, Riddler. You're the bad guy. Fuck you, Robin. I knew I wanted nuggets. Just for that, you have to answer the riddle. And I won't make it easy on you. Well, I got a 50-50 shot, Riddler. Very well. Yep. What do they ask, Batman? Riddler? Robin? A wrestling fan is drowning in his cake fake was his original plan. Loving him or hate him, do not underestimate him. Yellow may be he. His videos will always fill you with glee. Who is he, Riddler? Robin?
This has got to be Nate.
That sounds like the Burger King Hall of Famer. Endless Jest. I told you I don't work at Burger King, Robin. Regardless, he is correct. Release him, minions. Give me my food, Robin. And by the way, bam! Now for saying I worked at Burger King. Great. Now Robin's knocked out. Well, at least he brought the food. You all take care of the last riddle. I take Robin to the Batmobile. Dinner is served by Robin. Vengeance is served by Endless Jest. While Batman tends to Robin's wounds, will the PCP members be able to save the remaining PCP? Tune in next time to find out. Same PCP time, same PCP channel.
Holy shit!
Another masterpiece.
Why am I a Burger King guy?
You're just that's your thing,
That's
I guess.
my
that you
thing.
don't work at Burger King.
That joke from Family Guy is my thing. I invented it.
Well, it was as the joke as delivered by Endless
that's
Jess.
true.
Who's left? Is it just
It's
Digi
just
left?
Digi. So, I mean, will we be able to save him from the Riddler's conniving ways? It's us now. Batman has left the building. He's tending to Robin's wounds.
What? we're 8 for 9. Maybe we should just quit while we're ahead.
Wait, was I not in an episode? Did he me?
Oh no,
you were saved. You fell into the...
You asked this last week.
Oh, okay,
you were.
So okay.
He couldn't guess you, and you fell in, but you weren't hurt because you had no balls to be consumed by the.
Right.
It was
right.
penis.
Right.
They're penis eating.
That's right,
piranhas
or whatever.
Sorry,
right.
I do have a very short-term memory.
Well,
this weekly format isn't working for me. I guess.
Here's my question: If a female hyena were to fall into the vat, would they eat its pseudo penis?
Damn.
Well,
they'd pseudo eat it.
Riddle my ass, Riddler. How does that work?
They're not gonna eat the penis.
No.
Oh my God! No, this is what we have to do.
They specifically eat the penis. This is canon.
This is the sort of thing that when the Riddler asks us next week, we need to be able to rebound with an even more conniving and impossible to deduce riddle. That will be what finally pushes him over the edge and lets us save our last remaining hero.
I guess maybe like the pseudo penis is sort of like those fake hamburgers or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I mean...
What? Wait, what? Could you explain
like
what you
mean?
mean?
Veggie burgers?
Yeah. Kind of
like to the
that.
piranhas, I suppose. Yeah, to the piranhas, they'll think about it.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see. So,
I thought you were talking about
but would they eat it? That's what I want to know.
Well, there's only one way to find out, I guess.
We gotta ask the Riddler. We gotta find out.
We gotta ask the piranhas.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one more voicemail. Okay. It's also by Riddle My Ass Batman, but it's a shout out of a thing he's making.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, shout out.
For 8 weeks of fantastic content, I hope I have earned 1 minute of advertising. Hello everyone, Riddle My Ass Batman is making a fan fiction that is criminally underrated about the PCP, and I'm here, Batman, to tell you about it. It was stars Starfleet Captain Nate Bestman as he unfreezes the other members of the PCP from cryogenic stasis. Friends such as Pirate Jess, Lolly Digi, and anthropomorphic Vise, Piece of Slime, Ben. Along with they are on a quest to save Colt Corona from the dastardly hands of the evil Monkey Jones and his evil monkey army.
God.
Join our heroes on their quest across the galaxy to save their friend. You can find this story at Wattpad.com under PCP fanfiction, the ultimate quest for Colt. PCP fanfiction, the quest for Colt Corona. Please support this franchise as I'm criminally underrated in my PCP content. Thank you very much.
Okay. Not here though. Not here. You are celebrated on this podcast.
Let me see if I can find it. Wattpad.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put a link to that. We'll put a link.
Wait. Is he implying that this podcast has an entire section on Wattpad?
I don't know if that's what he meant.
Or is he the only entry?
Yeah.
There's just a
maybe.
Part of me hopes that he's not the only entry.
I would be.
I'd
be terrified and curious at the same time.
I am already terrified.
He said quest for Colt Corona, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now, hang on just a second here, Gabe, because I think that you missed. Call me crazy, but I think I see one last voicemail upload that appears to be my impression of a Digibro impression, and I don't know what this is, but I've got to hear it. I'm playing it. Go.
Weed.
Yeah.
Anime. Dude, he's like an anime guy. I don't shower.
This is really informing our whole decision to save Digi on the final Riddle My Ass Batman segment. I think we might just want to go a different direction with that. Thank you, sir.
I mean, if we dropped him into a vat of piranhas, he would technically get a shower at that point.
So. Oh, that's true. That's true. Any luck there, Ben? Any luck?
No, I am. He said go to Wattpad and search PCP fan fiction.
Oh, dude, just go to Google and type in quest for Colt. I found it. It's right here.
Hey, okay, good, fantastic.
That's okay. I can't find it searching on Wattpad.
You know, these on-site searches are pieces of shit. Fucking Google's the way to go.
Apparently, it is. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, there will be a link in the description, people. You've earned it. You've earned it, my dude. All right. Well, I guess that's it, right?
Oh, it's
we good?
There's 4 chapters already.
Oh, fantastic.
Wait, should I read an excerpt?
Yeah. Oh, let's do it. Good idea.
Okay. We're going. All right. Best guy ever came to, a few minutes after being thrown across the room, only to see, with his own eyes, a hazy image, Mumkey Jones walking through the demolished laboratory door.
Oh my God.
Mumkey walked over to Best Guy Ever and took the tiny cubic box containing the souls of the PCP members from Best Guy Ever's pocket.
Oh God.
Mumkey said to Best Guy Ever, "Thank you, but it is my weekend with the kids."
What does that imply?
I think I'll end it there.
That's a high note right there. Mumkey.
What does he mean? Find out.
The eternal rival,
PCP,
Mumkey Jones.
The ultimate fanfic, the quest for Colt Corona.
Fantastic. It sounds like a quest for the other PCP members whose souls have been stolen. But I mean, I guess that gets wrapped up sooner. I'm guessing.
I want to find where does Slime Ben come into it? That's what.
That sounds fascinating. I hope you're like an actual Star Wars. Or like a Star Trek.
I hope I'm like Slime Princess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm small, like I'm a small, just little globule
with a little beanie on.
Yeah, maybe unless I like dissolved it or something. But I'll just keep.
You just have your slime in the shape of a beanie.
Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah, that's good. That's
good.
Yeah.
I'll learn it. I'll learn the technique.
It's like remember that time when in Fairly Odd Parents when Timmy Turner wished that everything in the world would be the same, but miraculously his mom's bad cooking was so bad that it turned like the weird foods pink. So everyone were only the same on the outside, not the inside. And he shaped that pink cooking failure into a pink hat. So he would stand out and be Timmy Turner again. What an iconic moment in gaming history, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I totally remember that.
Okay, well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. That's $5 on Patreon, please. Patreon.com/the Procrastinators. $5 for, I think, the 25 bonus episodes I think we have now. And more to come. A deal, if I dare say so myself. A straight-up deal. And there will be more fun things coming. At TPCrastinators. Follow us on Twitter for updates and whatnot. And we'll see you here next week, baby. That's all there is to it. All right, thanks for being. We'll see you around, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Yeah.